Hi, everybody. Welcome to the swamp. And look who I've got the beautiful Michelle Marie. Um, and thank you for coming on and being my guest. After I went on, it was your guest. So it was nice to be able to return the favor and have you back. And of course, you're due back anytime. You're
Oh,
welcome to
thank
come back
you.
anytime you like. Um, and let's see, we got quite a few people in here. Let's see, we
Oh,
got
yeah.
Willow and Jenny and Michelle and Scott and Viviani
Jackie. Yeah.
and Jackie and my Jenny. Okay, I knew there was another name in there. I'm trying to remember. Um, and of course, you were just saying that you were on with Scott last night.
Oh, yeah. We were on Scott's shows last night, and Ness came on and gave a reading, and Jackie was on. It was a lot of fun. He went on for a few hours, so he's got that marathon pace down. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah,
So, my hat off to you, Scott.
I go through little spurts of it, and that's when you usually see me pop up at midnight. Is
Hmm.
I don't have to get up early in the morning, and I'm wide awake. It's like, okay, let's see who else is up.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun
And
show.
so I've done that a few times now, and I get a lot of response back from that. When you gonna pop up at late at night again? I might do it tonight since it's spring forward. We gain an hour tonight,
I know. I hate
so
spring forward.
I do too.
Just
I much prefer fall back.
yes, I look forward to that for
That one I
sure.
look forward to, but they're talking about this will be the last one in our state anyway. They're talking about
Oh,
they're not
that's
gonna
awesome.
change it anymore after we go to spring forward tonight.
Mhm.
And when I lived in Phoenix, of course, most of Arizona doesn't do the daylight savings time. They
Mhm.
stay the same time all year, and it was actually kind of nice because your system got used to the schedule, and you weren't kind of messing yourself up every time you turned around, and so that was nice. And but then you had to remember what everybody else's times had changed too.
Yep.
It wasn't the same anymore. Um, well, thank you, Michelle, for coming on. And hi, Nikki. And I don't have anything scheduled or planned. I just figured we'd visit for a few minutes, kind of update us on what's going on with you, and
Yeah.
then we can take some questions and do some readings and get everybody a little on the happy side, get some good
Sounds like a
readings on.
plan.
So anything new happening with your channel? Anything coming up that's kind of a big deal?
Well, this is a big deal, so I'm happy to be here. So I'm happy to be on Sherry Voices from the Swamp, one of my favorite NOLA astrologers. So this is awesome. Thank you. I have the opportunity to go on Heart and Soul Connected tomorrow. That's Allie's channel, and that'll be at
Yeah,
4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. And
that'll be
then
fun.
during the week, I'm going to have my friend Ramsey on, and then after him, I'm have Heather from Indigo Jaguar on. So
Oh,
lots of
cool.
yeah. So I enjoy reading with all of you guys. It's a joy to be part of this community. I love being in the chat, and I love being up front. So
Yeah, I enjoy whether if I'm in the chat or if I'm on the screen. It doesn't really matter. I just enjoy hanging out with everybody,
me
and
too.
because I know I've had several people say you should do more recorded shows. They
Hmm.
get more playback, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but I don't have anybody to talk to when I do a recorded show. It's just me yakking, and well, yes, I can talk till the cows come home. It's like y'all got to probably get tired of hearing my voice. I'd rather have somebody to talk to. Um,
Oh,
and
but just do
either
you. It's
somebody
your
on
channel.
screen with me or else chatting with a chat, So in the moment, I enjoy that. And but and for me, I've got tomorrow is the next episode of Mastering Mental Wellness with Isaac. The the topic that won the poll was anxiety and how to deal with
Mm.
anxiety. And so that ought to be interesting. We had Isaac had a link with worksheets and stuff that I'll post up. I'll share screen and post them, and people will be able to go into the chat afterwards and download them if they want to use them themselves.
Oh, wow. Very generous.
So, they're free resources that
Hmm.
that he has because he's a professional counselor. That's what he
Mhm.
does. And so it's he had some of his free resources that he had available that he sent to me. So, and then instead of us picking a topic every other week, we
Mhm.
decided, well, let's put a poll up and we'll
Ooh,
let the chat decide what they
I
want
love
us to
that.
talk about. And so about a week before, I'll put it up and say, okay, here's the top 3 choices. Pick one. And anxiety won this time out. So,
Mhm.
um, and I thought it was funny because Colleen had her new Oracle show last night
She
start.
did. And yeah, Gerald was a bunch of people showed up.
A
That was
bunch of
so
people were
fun.
there,
Yeah.
and they started talking about anxiety, and I was like, damn, I could have filled them in on some stuff I learned this week, going through all the resources and stuff.
Well, I
I
think that
kind of
if you're not anxious in today's world, there's something wrong with you because we have
Yeah.
had so much trauma in the last 5 years. Forget the last
Oh, yeah,
decade. I mean, in my
exactly.
generation, 2008, just that was just not a good time for us entering the workforce and having to deal with that. So it's just been kind of a mess for a long time, anxious
Well,
wise.
it
So
has,
we
and
can
it's
take all the tools we can get.
the continued trauma of kids having to learn active shooter drills in
Yep.
school. I mean, we practiced jumping under the desk if a nuclear bomb fell on us, like that
Yeah.
was going to protect us, right? But yeah, I guess it gave us something to do. Um,
Well, and
we
the
didn't.
irony is Russia's behind both of those.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
it's our enemies just
exactly.
coming in from another
They've
angle.
been our nemesis from as far back as we can remember.
Yep.
Um, I think they were kind of our sort of kind of ally for just a minute back in World War One, but
Yeah, in World War II, were on they were, and actually, I think it was General Patton. He actually got
yeah,
fired for saying that. Or was it Grant? Was it Patton or Grant? Jonathan
it was one of
Patton.
them.
It was General Patton. As they were going through Europe, he goes, "Let's just take out the Ruskies while we're at it." And they went, "Oh my God, they're on our team. Why would we do that?" And he goes, "They don't. They may look like us, wink, but they don't think like us."
Yeah,
And they fired him and said, "Get out," and said, "You can't do that." But he's like, "They're going to come back when this is done." They did with a vengeance. That's where we got
they
the Cold
do
War
come back.
from. And
Yes,
yeah.
they're like
So,
cockroaches. They don't go away.
well, I mean, I feel really sorry for the people because I just watched a documentary on Soviet housing and how they're forced to live. And
Yeah,
it's damning. And the psychology that comes out of that, like having to go to the bathroom and bring your own toilet seat, and
yeah,
living in squalid conditions because if you improve them, you can get in trouble. Or only allow, like, you have to share a car with a bunch of people. And even if you work extra hours and get the other car, the state will come and take it from you. So there's
yeah.
no incentive to learn. There's no incentive to grow. You're
No,
living in squalid conditions, and all of the wealth gets sucked up to the top.
yep.
So that's where America is heading unless we fight this. That's my
And
opinion.
that's what gets me is you have one party that is like doing its damnedest to bring us to that point. It's like, I don't want to live like that. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
not rich by any means, but I've seen poor. I've lived poor. And it's like,
Yeah, you
it's
know what a dirt
nothing.
floor looks like. You know what it's like to squat in a hole when you've been like at that
I've been
level. And
down to
that's
Mexico in some of the border towns where it's like
Mhm.
that. It's like, wow, that was an eye opener. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
almost like being homeless. It really is.
yeah,
So, I mean, I was lucky to have a car when I was homeless, so I got to
me
live in the
too.
back. So there
I
was
was
that,
homeless,
but
but I had a car.
yes, exactly. But, Soviet housing, there's a bunch of people, there's a lot of alcoholism, there's a lot of like poverty and things like that. And I tell people if you want our country to run like Russia, to run like a Soviet nation, that's what you're headed toward. And it's not good
Yeah.
for any of us, especially for women.
No, not even.
So,
I- it it it. I know we had a couple of students, very top of the line students, very smart, um, that went through our graduate program the last few years. The brother came through first, and he's now teaching in our engineering department. Um,
Mm.
and he fought like hell to get his sister over here, and her grades like just weren't quite good enough. And boy, that boy went on a campaign for his sister like I have never seen. And
Wow.
once she got here, she was like a 4.0 student. I mean, she was knocking them out left and right. She knew her stuff. She just didn't
Mhm.
have the opportunities to be able to apply it there in
Or
school
the environment. Yeah.
or the environment at all.
Mhm.
And she's now living in uh, somewhere up in the Northwest, Oregon, Washington, one of those states,
Okay.
working for one of the big tech companies, making big time money. Um, and I mean, I remember when she showed up and she looked like somebody that dressed out of a bag.
Mm.
I mean, she was extremely overweight. Her
Mm.
clothes were ill fitting. I felt so sorry for her because she looked like she felt so out of place. She
Mm.
didn't speak very good English, but in about 6 months' time, man, it was like a completely different person.
Yep.
You know, she lost the weight. People made friends with her and showed her how to go shop at Goodwill and Walmart. And and before I knew it, she was tearing it up and just the
Well,
sweetest thing in the
what I
world.
hear from that is that the community stepped up and filled in those gaps.
Yeah,
And
we
that's
have
what
a
but
lot of,
that's what I fear with today's youth is that they don't have as many opportunities
right,
post-COVID to have that social connection.
right. And with us, because I'm in computer science, we have a lot of foreign students.
Mhm.
So they tend to help each other out because even though the majority of them come from wealth,
Mhm.
that's the only way they get over here to go to school. But they also know what it is to not fit in, you know,
Mhm.
and to feel like the odd man out. So it always does my heart good to see them helping each other, and accepting each other for how they are without any worry about what religion they are or what country they came
That's
from.
beautiful.
And I mean, it's the same. Most of my faculty are foreign, so
Mhm.
same thing. But that's just because of the department I work in. If I worked in English, it would be, completely different parameters that I would be dealing with.
Mm.
But it's I enjoy being with the young people at school. They they give me hope
Mm,
for
good.
what's to come. But I worry about the younger ones because, you know, as helpful as social media can be, it can
Yeah,
also be very destructive,
it can.
you
Yeah.
know, and um, and when you have a country full of Karens and Kens that want to go off at the least little thing, it's like,
Well, and imagine that mean girl in school with a megaphone. I
yeah,
mean, she could just go into any room and blast out that hatred to anyone she feels threatened by. That's a
yeah,
lot of power,
it is,
so
and it's gone to their heads. It's
yeah.
yeah, and so it's like when somebody like that shows up, I leave. It's like, nope, not gonna deal with you. And but okay, so anyway, I'm so scatterbrained today, y'all. I'm sorry. My
It's a
brain
weird
is
day. I was
like,
I was doing mantras with Jonathan this morning, and I had to look up 2 of them. It was like, I know these by heart, and I had to actually go to my book because I was just so fogged. So there's just something
yeah,
in the air. So Rahu and Pisces is affecting a lot of us too. So
exactly. And then I
yeah,
had a class thing at 11. Then I had the other class with Marina at 3.
I love
And in
her.
between that, I was trying to cook dinner. So got it finished. I took out one of my lunch savor plates, put my stuff in it, stuck it to the side. It's like, I'll eat later. And
Yeah.
so it was like, I'm not going to sit here and eat food in front of everybody. I have on occasion.
I've done it. Yeah,
Sat here
it's
and ate food in front of everybody, but sometimes you want to be a little bit more polite, you know?
yeah. When I was doing all my Vedic classes, they always abutted up to all of the shows that I was on. And so, like, in between, I was like, like, okay, it's yogurt. It's a little sloppy. I'll turn my camera off. But it's
Yeah, it's watching like somebody putting a shovel in your mouth, just see how fast you can eat. Yeah, I've done that. Most people catch me. I got my little candy thing over here. Pop a candy in my mouth, but that's just because I need the sugar rush. And let's see,
What's your favorite candy, Sherry?
chocolate.
Me too. Yeah. Do you have a favorite chocolate candy that
Milk
you like,
chocolate.
or
I
milk?
like
Okay.
milk chocolate.
Hmm.
I like Dove.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There's a very rich,
And it
smooth.
lasts a really long time in your mouth too.
It does. You could put one of those little squares in your mouth, and it'll just
Go forever.
you got it for a long time, as
Mhm.
opposed to Hershey's that melts just that
Yeah,
fast.
and
You know.
Hershey's a little more sugary too than Dove, I think.
Yeah,
So,
and my mother loved dark chocolate. That's what she always wanted,
mhm,
and so I would have to buy dark chocolate and milk chocolate for both of us. And
mhm.
right now, it's Easter's almost here, so I got Cadbury eggs, the
Aw,
little mini eggs. It's just chocolate, candy coated chocolate,
mhm.
and
It's
so I
very
keep
UK
buying
of
that.
you with your Cadbury. I
That's
love it.
it. That's it. And I used to buy the cream eggs.
Oh, okay.
Those are really good, but they're really rich.
Yeah.
But they've gotten so expensive. It's like I could buy a whole
Mhm.
bag of the other ones
Oh,
for
wow.
one Cadbury cream egg. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
I
like
just get
almost
the Costco
$4 a
bags.
piece. Yeah. Yeah. Usually when I buy candy, I go to Walmart or Target or somewhere, Costco, Sam's, somewhere, and I buy the big giant bags,
Mhm.
and then try to make it last.
Oh, yeah, and then, like, if you go to, like, Rite Aid or any of the outlet stores after the holiday, oh my gosh, everything's 90% off. You just freeze it.
Oh yeah. Walgreens especially, they're good at that.
They
And
are.
they have a lot of stuff. Um oh, okay, we got Ellen is here and Sylvia is here
Hey,
and
Sylvia.
Jenny is here. I
She
don't
had a good
remember.
show with, Gerald the other day. They were talking about woo.
Talking about who? Oh,
Woo.
woo.
All
Yeah,
things
the
woo.
woo. Sylvia and I got a show coming up in May. Sylvia, it's May, I think. Um, where it's going to be a show talking about um, all of the benefits that Biden has brought
Mm.
to the country since he became president.
Yeah, they don't talk
Because
enough
we
about
were
that.
we were talking about it one night in, I don't remember if we were both in chat or something, and I was saying, we need to learn how to be able to tick off 5, 6 things on our fingers. Well, he's done this and this and this and this, and just hit people with whenever they want to say he hadn't done anything for me. You need to have a response. So
Mm.
she was like, let's do a show on that. We'll just make a list and then split it up, and people can be able to take notes and know which ones they want to memorize.
Oh,
I
yeah,
said,
she
that's a
says,
good
you're
idea.
gonna be
So
doing it May 5th. So,
May 5th. Okay, I thought it was
yeah.
May. And but that's exciting. And actually Sylvia is the person I was with the first time I actually channeled someone. And
Oh,
it was
wow.
George Washington of all people.
Very cool.
I was like, oh my God. I can't believe that's who comes through the first time. Um, and we were actually doing a show, and she was pushing me. Go ahead, you can do it. You can do it. You can. And she kept at it. I was like, okay, I'll try. And boom, boy, it came right through.
Wow.
And
What a cool
yeah,
first
right.
channel.
And we were talking politics and something about shoot. I'm trying to remember what the question was. She was asking me what our founding fathers thought of the mess of today. And boy, did I hear George. He came through like gangbusters. He was not a happy camper. But
I think another one that would surprise people is Reagan would be tossing and turning in his grave if he saw what his party turned into.
oh,
And he's the most recent hero, of the
yeah,
party. So
exactly. Hi, Harley. Hi, Shockwave. Hi, MLR. And so, yeah, maybe I do MLR. I might have a past life connection with. I know that my great aunt spent the majority of her life doing genealogy traces of the family tree, going in all different directions. In several of the branches, she traced back to like the 1300s.
Oh.
To Scotland and Wales and Ireland and France and Holland and England.
You sound like you're
So
from my
that's all.
that's
Yeah,
all
it's
my
all the
neck of the woods,
European. All the really white people.
Yeah. Both my
And then
parents
they
are from
all got over
Louisiana, and
here
that's
and
their
the
background.
Cherokee got blended in. So it was like, oh, we finally added a little color.
Yeah.
But she traced it back where technically we could all become official members of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Oh, wow.
Because she was able to trace back relatives that fought in the American Revolution. And I was like, oh, how cool is that? She said, and then she was like, oh, we can also be official members of Daughters of the Yellow Rose of Texas.
Oh.
Because we had family that fought, in all the Texas wars to get Texas to be a state.
Did you see any battling family members with the Civil War in your family?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that's always fun. It's like one's Union and one's Confederate, and they're like cousins,
one branch that was plantation,
Yeah.
slave owning people.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another branch that were the dirt poor farmers. And both branches wound up coming west after the Civil War because they lost everything. And so the slave owners lost all their slaves and lost their plantations. It's like, well, that's what you get. But so, yeah, I mean, there's, I've laughed. I said, there's probably some African in us too, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
If we had plantation people back in the line somewhere, damn well there's some African mixed in there somewhere.
Yeah, actually, do you ever watch The View? It's kind of like a Golden Curl Coffee Clutch. Yeah, only without the commercials, and you guys are a little more entertaining in my opinion. But there's a woman on it called Sunny, and she had her
I've seen
genealogy
her.
done.
Yeah.
And she found out that she was not only mostly white, but her family has a long line of slave ownership. And she's
Oh,
like
wow.
heavy into the Black community. And so that was kind of a shock for her. But she said, what we learned was it's surprisingly common how many families are blended. And so someone asked the comment, they said, well, what about reparations? She goes, I still support them. She goes, I would just have to pay on one hand and then do the other. Like, it's just so.
Exactly. I mean, my mom was the black sheep of the family, I guess you could say. She was, equal rights, civil rights, women's rights, gay rights. I mean, she was I went to a lot of marches with her as a kid. She was really into it. But she was a single mom with 2 kids, trying to fend for herself and being blocked at every avenue because she was a single woman with 2 kids, in the 60s and the 70s. And that just wasn't done back then. And well, it was done a lot more than people realized. They just
my husband was raised by a single mother in the 1950s. So and it was very uncommon back then for a woman to go through that. So she just told everybody that her husband was dead, and that she was a widow. But he was an alcoholic and he was a horrible man. So it's like, all the women got blamed. She got blamed for not making the marriage work out, even though it was his alcoholism and cheating that did it. So
yeah, it's
a
always
rough
been a
time.
woman's fault. That seems to have been the default.
Yeah, in the South especially.
As far back into history as you can go, it was no matter how violent or cruel the man was, well, it's her fault.
Yeah, she couldn't keep her man.
Yeah. Or couldn't keep him on the straight and narrow, or couldn't couldn't keep him from beating her up all the time. I mean, it's like, yeah, no.
Well, I mentioned The View to like, and I watched the last Friday show that they did, and they were trying to figure out why Donald Trump was able to get away with what he's been able to get away with. And I said, he basically had a mother who was mentally ill and was basically put in an asylum when he was just like 2 or 3. And he
Yeah.
was raised by a psychotic father who took his narcissism as a weapon and unleashed it to get what he wanted. There are a lot of men in the United States who have been weaponized in that same way, in
Oh,
my
yeah.
opinion, where they were never told that you shouldn't do that and that that's not the way to act or behave. I mean, if you think about a 2-year-old, when they throw a hissy fit in the middle of the supermarket, the mother or the father that's with them is responsible for saying no and setting a boundary with that child. Imagine that boundary was never set. In fact, it was
Yeah.
lit on fire and just thrown into a crowd of people. That's Donald Trump. So
Yeah.
I see a lot of, in my
On
opinion, like
steroids.
yeah, Brett
Yeah.
Kavanaugh, in my opinion, is a lesser form of that because just his
Mhm.
hearing for the SCOTUS review in
Oh, he
front of
was so
Congress.
insulted that anybody questioned
If I went
his,
into an interview and talked to my interviewer like that, I would
oh, what?
probably be escorted out of the building, let alone get the job.
Talk
So,
about. I mean,
and then in the meantime, Christine, what was her name? Christine Breyer? Christine, it was the woman who came out and
yeah,
testified.
I'm
Ford, it was
going
Christine Ford,
blank.
I think. Christine Ford,
I'm
I
going
believe.
blank on her last name. Yeah.
Yeah, she's had to go into hiding. I think she's like 3 times was the last time I checked, but then they just stopped counting because she came out and spoke to power, and now she's just being hidden instead of this guy being held accountable. And having come
Yeah.
from domestic violence and lost 5 friends to domestic violence last year, the court's way of handling men that are completely out of control and off their knocker in America is to just hide the victims and let them keep doing what they're doing because there's too much money behind it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. And you
yeah.
get these people that grow up with the silver spoon in their mouth and who grow up thinking that, they can do whatever they want to do because
Mhm.
they've got money and mama and daddy will pay for it.
Yeah.
Um, what was it? Some kid that hit and run several people back in Texas with, it was about 10 years ago, that his punishment, he didn't get punished for killing 2 people. He was drunk, hit and run,
Mhm.
killed 2 people. He didn't get punished for it, and they blamed his affluent lifestyle to him not being responsible for his actions. I'm like,
Well,
well,
then I
then
would
mom
drag
and
the
dad
parents
should
into
have
it.
their asses thrown in jail, and learn to raise your kids right. I mean, yeah, it's a fire has broken out in Tyler County in Texas. Oh
Oh,
my.
okay.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more of that,
Mhm.
and you've got leadership that's seeing how fast they can help this stuff become worse.
Well, autocracy thrives in chaos. So
Yeah,
they're just adding more fuel to that fire to give men that want to step into power more power. So
absolutely. Okay, well, look, if y'all want us to read on a question, um, Michelle, are you doing astrology type readings or just oracle card
I do
reading?
both. I could talk about the astrological transits going on. We can just
Okay.
go right into readings and I can incorporate astrology into the readings. It's totally up to you. It's your show, love.
Why don't we start with cover some of the transits? Some of the thing I know we got a new moon coming up tomorrow, right? And then
Mhm.
we've got an eclipse in
On the
like a couple
25th.
of weeks. Okay, yeah, I knew it
That's a
was
big
close.
one.
Um, yeah, because it's supposed to be we're not going to be able to see a full one in our country until like 2050 or something like that. They were saying that
Um,
evidently what's coming this time is gonna where I'm at down here in the South, we're gonna
okay.
actually be able to see
Oh,
it.
good. Okay. Yeah, it
And
depends on where you are for sure.
so we're in that cone that I saw the picture of, and that we wouldn't be able to see it that defined
Hmm.
to like 2050 or something like that, 2040
Oh,
or something.
okay.
And I
Yeah,
was like, oh, wow. You
that's the
don't
path.
think about that at the time. You think, oh, well, I'll look at it next time it comes over. And then I may not be alive the next time it comes over. So you got to kind of
Oh,
think of it that
NASA
way.
does a pretty good job of showing eclipses too. But I tell
Yeah.
people to go to big events during an eclipse is not a good idea. It's
Yeah.
just,
No, I tend to stay indoors.
and looking at it's bad luck. But as we know, it's dangerous to look directly into an eclipse. So even though the president did it, don't do it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
all right. So like I'll start with the new moon that's coming up. It's going to be in I'm a sidereal Vedic astrologer. As far as the transits that I'm doing now, I am well versed in Western, but this is the current field of study that I'm working on. If you want to know the difference between Western and sidereal, I made a video on my channel about that. So basically, this new moon in sidereal is at 26 degrees and 5 of Aquarius, and it's in Purva Bhadra Nakshatra. So personally, it's an opportune moment for innovation, humanitarian endeavors, and setting progressive intentions. So do beware of stubbornness or detachment, which can hinder your personal connections. And Vedic remedies such as meditation, charity, chanting lunar mantras can all help navigate these energies positively. So collectively, this new moon is going to foster a lot of community collaboration, social reform, inventive solutions, and the best thing that we can do is allow this moon to sow seeds of positive change. And what that can do, and they also remain grounded too. I think that's really key with the Rahu and Pisces energy.
Yeah.
But if we're open-minded and grounded and we can balance that, we can see some collective advancement happening. And a really good mantra from this moon is Om Somayan. And you can do that 108 times on a mala if you're just feeling a little ugh, okay? And
Okay.
then we have Mars entering Capricorn, and he's exalted at 28 degrees of Capricorn, okay? He's going to be exalted at 28 degrees, and that is going to be on March 12th. So that is going to ignite a lot of courage, a lot of ambition, and a lot of assertiveness. And it's going to propel us towards our goals, our determination. So if you're looking at getting a lot of things done during that time, obviously it depends on what's going on in your natal chart, but collectively, it's a great time to get things done. We do have to watch for potential aggression or impatience with this energy. So Vedic remedies such as performing Hanuman Chalisa, I'll make I'll include a video of that on my shorts tomorrow. And not tomorrow, on the 12th. So usually the night before I post all of this. So you guys will have that in the shorts. You can wear red coral gemstones. That's Mars gemstone. You can practice controlled action, and that can help you harness some of these Martian energies positively. Collectively, Mars is all about driving progress and leadership and initiative. He's a warrior. He's our inner warrior, but he's opposite Libra. So he requires a lot of diplomacy to avoid those conflicts. So
Gotcha.
you can welcome his energy for like very decisive action, for productivity, for channeling his strength really constructively in your personal and your societal goals, advancements, things like that. And that'll foster a lot of cooperation and understanding. And then the sun is going to enter Pisces on the 14th until April 13th. And that can bring forth a lot of intuition, compassion, creativity. It's going to boost our EQs a little bit. If you're looking for deeper connections with spirituality and empathy, that's a great month to dive into those things. You can do Vedic remedies like the Surya Namaskar. Those are the sun salutations in the morning. You can offer water to the sun on Sunday. You can practice mindfulness. Collectively, this transit's going to inspire a lot of compassion, some inner soul healing, unity, but it's going to require a lot of discernment to avoid delusion, because with Rahu in Pisces, he's causing us a lot of psychological imbalances in the
Yeah.
collective. So just embrace the spiritual growth, the altruism of this sun, and try to find a balance between the inner guidance that you're hearing and practicality for personal and collective well-being. That's why, being grounded is so important with that
Yeah.
energy. So that's just a few things going on. I go over them on my Wednesday show every week to just kind of warn
Right.
people. And then
Yeah,
I
but
also have
just in case
shorts.
there's anybody's here that hasn't seen your Wednesday show, which shame on you. You
Oh,
should watch her Wednesday show. It's very interesting and a lot of fun. And but I just kind of wanted to hit it in case there was anybody here that hadn't been over there. And if you haven't already subscribed to Michelle's channel, her information is in the description box below. Click on it, like, subscribe, and share. It's free. And it helps us get our channels pushed out, especially if you go in after the fact and leave a comment, an emoji, thumbs up, whatever. Just leave it in the comments, and that also helps to boost the algorithm, so that when people are just like channel surfing, if they put in one of the keywords that we list with our channels, boom, we'll show up if we've got enough stuff to kind of back it up. Suddenly our channel will pop into their feed. And so then they're able to find us and go, oh, wow, I didn't know they did this.
Yep.
That was my response when I first found it on YouTube. It was like, political tarot, there's such a thing. I never heard of that before.
Oh yeah, it's
And
very.
then when I heard it was progressive political tarot, I was like, oh my God, what planet am I on? So yeah, it was quite eye-opening.
And my hope is that we'll still be able to do this after the next election, and that we won't be silenced. That's my
that's
what's on the ballot, is freedom of speech. Everything, freedom is on the ballot.
Yeah.
So
living in a democratic society or living in a dictatorship.
That's how we're able to do this. We couldn't talk about the president or about what we don't like about fill in the blank in another country the way that we do here.
Absolutely not. I mean, look at that Canadian family that got all freaked out because there was some stores or something in their town that flew pride flags, and the gays were coming to run over everybody. So the husband up and decided to sell their farm and moved them all to Russia, where gay people aren't allowed. And
I didn't hear about this. This is fascinating.
They got there, they couldn't speak the language, so that was their first difficulty. They had all of their accounts frozen, so they couldn't access their money. And they were there, I don't know, like we were talking earlier, very, very poor housing choices for them.
Yeah, if you guys want to, it's on YouTube. It's St. Petersburg, and I'll try to find the guy's name. He did a whole hour video on what it's like to live in the capital of Russia. It's horrifying, you guys. It's just like, you don't want to sign up for that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what this family learned, because the wife got ticked off about it and went on her YouTube channel and proceeded to bitch and complain. And it only took a couple of days before her channel got silenced, and they had to turn around and make an apology video and post it, because she didn't know that they weren't allowed to speak poorly against their new country. Like, yeah, you get what you asked for, huh? Hi, Linda.
Yeah, when your leader is at the end of a 30-foot long dining table with no one at it, that's a sign of maybe things aren't in balance. So
just a little bit of problems there.
Yeah. So, and you know what the gun laws are in Russia? I mean, they're that way to keep people. Yeah. So if you care about your guns in the South and you vote that way, you're going to definitely lose them. So that's the irony. The Democrats aren't coming for your guns.
Yeah, no.
Look at the way Russia and China treats guns, because that's who the Republicans are in bed with. So
look at North Korea. I mean, those people are even worse off. I mean, yeah, it's like, do y'all even pay attention to what these people go through in these countries?
It's terrifying.
And yet you're gonna, Sheila said, yeah, they took their money, their passports. They can't go back to Canada. Fortunately, the oldest children stayed in Canada and didn't go, but that didn't help the younger ones. And I guess, the father is cuckoo for coconuts.
Well, the father sounds like that 2-year-old that was never told, "You can't get your way just by throwing a temper tantrum." That's who I
Yeah,
just whether you're a Karen or
exactly.
a Ken, if you didn't get that basic lesson as a child and you think you can run over anybody else and
Yeah.
you've been unable to do so, then
I remember, hopefully well, I don't know. I've talked about it enough. I'm sure he won't get upset. When my son was in middle school,
mhm.
he let one of the neighbor boys talk him into busting out all the windows in an empty mobile home that was next to the complex where we
Mm,
lived. My husband managed the complex, and the mobile home was just not rented at the time, so it was vacant. And it wasn't anything fancy, just a little old 2 or 3 bedroom mobile home. And fortunately, my husband had done work for the man, so he knew him.
okay.
But the other boy, which was a troublemaker, talked my son into going with him and busting out all the windows in this
Mm,
trailer. And somebody saw them and called the
mm,
man and told him who he saw doing it. And so the guy called the police, who had to come over and fill out take pictures and all that stuff. And then they come knocking on doors.
mhm.
Well, the other kid, his parents were all like, "Oh, our son would never do that." Da 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 da. And and the man's like, "There are witnesses who saw your son doing it. So yeah, he does these things." I got a phone call from my husband because I was at work with telling me briefly of the rundown of what's going on. And I said, well, he needs to go and apologize to
Mhm,
Mr. Miller. That was the man's name.
mhm.
He needs to admit his guilt, apologize, and then offer to make restitution for it.
Yeah.
And his dad said, okay, that's what I thought. He said, I just want to make sure we were on the same page. So when the
Yeah,
police
the fact
showed
that your
up,
husband asked you in the
yeah,
South,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
And he was a Southerner too. So,
Yep.
he was a Mississippi boy, even worse. Um, but I mean, yeah, our parenting style was we did all the decisions together. And when our son was old enough to kind of understand what was happening, he was
Mhm.
included in the talks. Do we do
Mm,
this? Do we do that? Because we figured it's a family
mhm.
unit. Everybody has a voice.
Yeah.
And that's just the way we ran our home.
Mhm,
A lot of people don't do that. But so anyway, he, made our son go and apologize, offer restitution. And so the other boy's father offered to pay half the cost of the
oh,
windows.
okay.
At least he gave that much.
That's good.
And my husband was like, I can get the glass at cost because he did maintenance work. He had connections.
Mhm,
He said, and we'll put the windows in,
mm,
talking to him and our son.
mhm.
And sure enough, they spent like the next 3 or 4 weekends. That's what our son did for the weekend was he went with his dad to go replace the windows in this trailer. And then when summer rolled around, first time he asked to go somewhere, and his dad said, "No, you've got chores to do to pay off all that glass I had to pay for.
Yep.
There's consequences to your actions." And and it taught him a lesson. I mean, he lost several weekends. He lost his whole summer being able to go and do with his friends
Yep.
because he had to do things at home to pay off the glass
Mhm.
that he had to replace. And
And he's gonna think twice before he does it again because there was a consequence.
exactly, exactly. From the
Yeah.
day he was born, his daddy would tell him, "You are a Southern gentleman, and you will behave as such."
Mhm.
And in his mind, a Southern gentleman was someone who was respectful, truthful, um, loyal, and always gave to others
Mm,
before themselves.
mm,
That's how he was raised.
mm,
That's how we raised our son.
mm.
And so I was always, and I had people at the time who thought we were being way too harsh on him. And I was like, no. I said, because, you know, what if one day that's his home that somebody smashes all the windows out? Suddenly he's stuck having to pay for that. So yeah, that's a good thing to. Hi, Clarence. Hi, Harley. What did you say? Oh, it was. It was. But that's the kind of man he was. But that was also after he stopped drinking, because he was an
Well,
alcoholic.
and that's a testament to you because you set enough boundaries to
Yeah,
foster that type of behavior in your marriage. Because if your husband had gone the other direction and encouraged your son to become a criminal, like Trump's family did,
yeah.
you probably wouldn't have ended up together. So a lot of women
No.
stay in relationships with men that they shouldn't, in my opinion. My mother's one of them. And it messes up the whole family. So the fact that you not only, worked with your husband and you guys both changed and helped each other when it came to
Yeah,
your son, that's huge. That's what keeps crimes from happening. It
exactly.
starts in the home. So
Exactly. Jenny says the same. Yeah, she and her other half discuss everything. So,
that's great.
you got to have that communication. I
You
don't care
do.
what kind of relationship it is. If you want it to last, you got to have communication.
Definitely. And I'm that way with friendships. I'm that way with
Yeah,
relationships. I'm that way with business partnerships. If I find out that you're doing underhanded things and that you're lying to me, that you're stealing from me, that you're
yeah,
hurting
that's
other
it.
people, I'm like, bye. I can't have anything
Yeah,
to do with you. And I walk away and I never say your name again. So,
exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
Um, okay, let's move on to questions here. I'm going to run down the list of who I've got so y'all know that I've got you starred. I've got Mickey, who didn't want to be first, but is, because she was the first one to put a question in. I've got Ellen and Sheila and Jenny and Shockwave and Judy. So we got 6.
Great.
So Mickey, who didn't want to go first, you're first. Here you go. Look at your next 3 months. What particularly do you want us to look at?
Well, my cards basically want her to focus on her career. That's what I got.
There
So,
you go. All right.
so I don't know what's going on with your career, Mickey, but I got Rahu 10th house for you. So they really want you to focus on that. Rahu's in Pisces right now, so it could be spiritually driven, something like that.
Okay.
So I went to my enchanted tarot, and I got the King of Roses. Okay, he's a
Cool.
little distracted. Okay, but this is the card of a good manager. Okay, he exudes a lot of maturity, without complaints, regrets, or even the slowness of age. So he has a great personality. He's good natured. He's very interested in others. He's not overly intellectual. He's more passionate. He's a doer, not a thinker. So he's a motivator. He's very confident. He has an intense honesty about him. So he's used to being the leader in a position of command. He's a great king. So when I get from when I pulled this card is you're learning to confront your strengths and your weaknesses from a very mature standpoint. And they're saying that a truly scientific and mathematical approach will work for you in this little career piece that they're showing me. So let's see. They're saying act with passion and decisiveness to get your way. Act like a leader. Loyalty will be shown to you now, and your loyalty will be rewarded in turn because this is a very loyal presence. And what else? There's a lot of doors opening for you career-wise. I think that's why they're bringing that up. So I asked for a little bit more on this, Mickey, and I got details, reflection, and perfectionism as far as the things that they have you working through. Okay, this is from the Creativity Oracle. The first one is details. And examine your situation and take care of every little detail one step at a time. I think that's why I got the mathematical approach. There might be some little details that you're missing, okay? And then the second one I got is reflect on them. Spend some time in reflection. Time to focus, balance, reflect, and guide yourself past stumbling blocks to take the right actions. So the King of Roses is a very action-based, passionate leader. So they're asking you to take decisive action and reflect on all of the details before doing so. While you do that, I got the perfectionism card. Be content to know that perfection is a distant utopian goal at which we journey but never arrive. So even if you miss maybe a couple of little things, don't be too hard on yourself for it. There's a lot of balls in the air, okay? Then I got what's kind of the outcome of this career piece that I'm seeing. I got the joy card. I got the 6 of shells. So I got childlike joy. I got that your beliefs about your beliefs from the past and from your childhood will be respected. There might be a lot of nostalgic memories of childhood friends and family. And they're saying just lighten up a little bit and have more fun with it. Take on the job like with the curiosity of a child and avoid that perfectionism piece is what they're showing me. Make time for fun, more fun. Be more open and optimistic. Uh, okay, they're saying you may meet someone with a similar upbringing or background over the next 3 months that can kind of spark this a little bit, which is good. And someone that you used to know may like send you an email or a text or something and want to get together. Okay. So, yeah, they're saying the innocence of youth is going to be very profitable and good for you in the career front. So that's what they had me focus on. I don't really know what's going on with your career. So I'd love some feedback as to, what's going on there, but it's very passionate and fun. So,
Very good.
yeah.
Well, the first card I pulled was from the Enchanted Map Oracle, and it's simply called Rescue.
Huh.
And when I looked it up, I was like, okay, rescue, but it says, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's the main message of this card. You're involved in a wonderful community here. You're maybe family and friends at home where you're at. People that if you need help with an issue, you can put the word out and there will be people there to help you. They can't help you, say, financially, they can help you emotionally or spiritually. Don't be afraid to take it to spirit and say, okay, I effed up and I need a little help. What do I do? And they will show you what to do. You just have to be willing to take that step and to ask. Asking for help is one of the hardest things we do,
Especially women.
especially women, because we're
Mhm.
so used to doing everything ourselves.
Yep.
Super mom, I work, I raise the kids, I take care of the house, I do this, I do that, do the other. You don't even think of asking for help, but ask for help. And then I pulled the 4 of Pentacles.
Ooh.
And that's talking about don't hold on so tightly that you suffocate opportunities that are coming up to you. That leads into what Michelle was talking about. Don't have such a death grip on things that sparks of innovation cannot happen. And then the last card I drew from you from the Divine Masters is the Atlanteans.
Ooh, I love that card.
Isn't that gorgeous?
That's cool.
And it's called Evolution Vibration. And it talks about you are a future thinker who will leave a legacy of healing and light. Think beyond boundaries. Atlantean energy is here to help you align your pathway with one that supports the evolution of your soul and your family lineage. Again, that's talking about asking for help. That just kind of emphasizes what the Enchanted Map card said. Don't be afraid to ask spirit for help. So that's what I'm getting for you there. And let's see. And I hope that resonated with you. All right, I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Okay, next up we have Ellen R., who would like a reading on moving and finding a job in Albany. Alrighty.
Okay. It's going to bring you a lot of transformation. Because Ellen, the first card I got was Scorpio. This is the 8th house of transformation. It's purification to resurrect the secrets of, resulting from the power of. It's the highest and lowest aspects of our soul. So this is going to drudge up a lot of soul type energy. I said, what does that look like? I got Jupiter and Uranus. So it's a blessing in disguise. What Uranus does is he comes through and he gives us our tower moment. He's our lightning planet. And what Jupiter does is he gives us the blessing after the storm. So you've got something coming your way with this job that is going to be very transformative, but it's a blessing in disguise. It's not going to look like a blessing when you're going through it because that's what Uranus does. But Jupiter tells me it's going to be okay. Okay. So that's the good news. I asked, how is the moving and the job and everything going to go for Ellen? I got the victory card. I got the 6 of Wands. So this is a wonderful card to get. Your victory will last longer if you really want what you're going for with this position. Share your success with a loved one. Position yourself to do very well. Okay. You might have a party or a celebration. Okay, the spotlight will be on you, so appreciate the happy time coming your way. But keep in mind that others involved may not be feeling so worthy. Okay, so be sensitive to their feelings and know that your path to success has made you a more caring person. All right. So then I asked my fairy tarot. I don't normally hit them, but they just said, "Yeah, pick us, please," because we have a little bit more to add to this. So Ellen, there's something that you need to set aside for now because you're dealing with some indecision. I got the 2 of Winter. Okay. And so if you're trying to make a decision between staying and going, they're saying indecision is holding you back. Make a choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others, feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. So I asked for, okay, well, if she's having some indecision, what's the way out of that? I got the 4 of Winter. Take some time out for rest. So set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation, a need for more sleep or a vacation. I think that's why I got that victory card. You just need to take a break so that you're coming and making this decision from a very calm and centered place. That way you don't regret doing this later. Okay. But I did get the victory card. So that's a good card to get. I did pick some affirmation cards, art of affirmation cards that you can carry into just this energy. You need to know that you're an oracle. Okay, this is the first card I picked when I got this deck, and Monte read it to me, so it was like a really special thing, okay? You're an oracle. That little voice in the workplace that's saying, hey, maybe look at this, or, you have a dream about someone or something like that. It's correct, okay? Those are your guides coming through and talking to you. An oracle is aware of the subtle voices and symbols that reveal the messages that guide us. I breathe in the trust that I need to follow my intuition. I am filled with the wisdom of my higher self. I breathe out my doubt that answers will come to me. I'm always asking spirit for signs and symbols. Got one the other day. Our car broke down in the Costco parking lot, and my husband leaves the lights on every now and then, but he's got this great little battery charger in the trunk that we use when that happens. So while we're doing that, I look over and the car that's parked next to us is car 3524. And it was March 5th, 2024. And so I just looked at him and said, we're right on track. We're right where we're supposed to be.
Right where we need to be.
Exactly. And there's just spirit checking in saying, yeah, it's been kind of a hard day, but don't worry, we still got you. So little things like that. Look for those signs and symbols. You are an oracle. So they're sending you that stuff. Okay. They do help you at work, Ellen. That's why they came through and said that. You need to know that they are giving you messages and symbols and things. Okay. And then they want you to focus on your nutrition. Okay. Healthful foods are delicious. Unhealthful foods and additives deaden your taste buds. So you may have to get used to what you should have been eating all along. Eat well and your body will work to heal itself. Just do a little bit at a time. Okay. Like for instance, if you If you really love like pork or beef or things that have been shown to cause heart problems, maybe have a meatless Monday, something like that.
Hmm.
If you find that you're feeling a little tired throughout the day, get yourself a jug of water and just remember to drink water, things like that. They could just be little things that you do. Don't try to take on too much or shock your body, because then it'll send you in the other direction. Okay. So
Right.
paying attention to your nutrition. Those are the main things that they said. I got the victory card. It's going to be great, but you're going to have to watch, maybe do some meal prep, make sure that you're not overworking and forgetting meal times and drinking enough water and things like that. Oh, I'm glad that you have a good diet. Oh, gluten sensitive.
Good, good,
Have to
good.
cut back on dairy. That's difficult. So that's maybe what they're pointing to is they appreciate the fact that you're taking responsibility for your health, but maybe researching some other avenues, maybe looking into Ayurveda, things like that, to add to your repertoire,
Hmm.
and to identify more trigger foods, which can cause problems. So,
Very good.
yeah.
All right, Ellen, the first card I pulled for you was the Eight of Pentacles. So this is simply just telling you hard work. You're a hard worker. You're going to keep working hard, but you're going to have high rewards because of it. Um, this is somebody getting rewarded for doing the hard work. And then I pulled Mountain, and it just simply says that you have the capacity to flow around any obstacle. This is the time to adapt. And so that's part of what you're going to be doing, looking for that new job, or yeah, looking for that new job is learning to adapt into what's going on. And then from Angels and Auras, I pulled Blessing in Disguise. Here we go, this way. And it's talking about your
Sherry,
rock
that's what I
solid.
said. That's hilarious. It's a blessing in disguise. We can't make
Yeah,
this up, guys.
I'm telling you. Yeah, you were reading. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Is she looking at my cards too? Um, it talks about your rock solid faith that everything happens for a reason and will turn out for the best, serves you in everything you do. Keep that optimism high and keep reminding yourself that it's a blessing in disguise. There's all kinds of really cool things that happen to us that we don't consider because we don't see the positive in it. Maybe we only react to the negative of the moment, not realizing that the negative is necessary to bring the positive. Um, and then the last card I pulled for you is Buddha, which is heightened awareness. And it talks about don't fight the thoughts that disturb you. For when you fight your thoughts, you create a war in your mind. Your thoughts are not your enemy, and your mind is a neutral space that allows you to connect with both fear and love. It says you're being guided to know that when you experience fear, you have an opportunity to stand in love. So the fear of moving and finding that new job, you have to face that fear head on, and you're going to benefit from it because it's going to wind up showing you all the opportunities that come from it, from you being, but first you have to go through a little bit of fear, which is hard for all of us because we want everything to go just right. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. We have to kind of work our way through it. Um, okay, let's see here. Next up, we have Sheila. Do my guides have a message for me? Thank you.
So, Miss Sheila, I'm not sure if you have an oracle deck or a tarot deck at home, but you might want to think about it, because I got the fortune teller from the Wild Goddess Oracle. Being open to possibilities and trusting your intuition to interpret answers from oracles can help you help others. Okay. And she literally has the oracle in front of her here. Okay. You might have to go through some transformation before this opens, but they're recommending that you pull some cards yourself. Okay. Because you have some guides that can help you through that. Okay. The first card I got from my Enchanted Tarot was the Six of Gems. This is the same as the Six of Pentacles. This tells me that you're a very kind and generous person. Okay, Sheila. The good you have done will come back to you in many ways, including through the actions of, others, because that's how karma works. So you tend to be in agreement with others when it comes to financial matters and goals. They can trust you in this area. And if you're able, you continue to try to get to the for those who are less fortunate, which tells me you have a good heart. So if you're in need, ask and it will be given to you. Look on the brighter side of life and just be thankful for everything you have and count those beautiful blessings for good health and love that you do have. The reason I said that is because the second card that came up is it's a little more difficult. Okay. I got the Five of Wings reversed. It's the same as the Five of Swords. This is a little bit of a bully card. Okay. So, don't work against your own best interests because you've got a good heart. If you encounter defeat through your situation or that of another that they're showing me, a hurtful secret can be discovered. We have the eclipse coming up, so that tends to reveal secrets. If you come into a situation where you're experiencing a lot of regret, don't blame yourself, because I got that you're a very generous person. This is kind of coming outside of you. It's kind of a manipulative, mean-spirited person that's in the environment. Okay. Don't let your opinions be overlooked or disregarded in this situation, because they're trying to turn other people into victims in order to feel that they're powerful, if that makes any sense. So just be careful of any thoughtless harassment or gossip in your environment. And even though that person is being very selfish, try to avoid blame or revenge when you find out what they've been doing. The reason you're going through this is there's a major change coming in your life. This is transformation. So the way that you choose your friends, your partnerships, and your overall tribe needs to change a little bit. Okay. Because there's a bully in the midst, and they're not being very nice, okay, to you or to other people in the group. So I would just be aware or beware of that particular person, because that's what they're here to do. Is they're changing the way that you view other, so to speak, because you do have a very kind and generous heart, but then this is still kind of flying around. Okay. I pulled some affirmation cards to help you through this. And I'm glad you have a tarot deck. They're saying, get it out. Let's do it. Because they want it.
Yeah.
They want you to ask them before just kind of jumping into a new project or goal with someone. Okay. Because they're going to be able to point out things that you may miss. I do that all the time. All right. Because the first card I got was Goddess of Protection. I learned valuable lessons by studying the past. Use this gift when you're not satisfied with your life or are tormented by how different you believe things could and should have been. That's this energy here. Okay. If only. The present moment is your only point of power. Taking action now in harmony with what you know you have to do while using the past to guide your actions is the best way to change your future. Okay. They're asking you to use the deck. All right. So what I recommend is you could also take some classes too. That's how I got started. And then I have a little journal, and I would pull 2 or 3 cards every single day. And then at the end of the day, I would reflect on how those cards transpired. That's how I got into tarot. And you could always reach out and things like that, because we have tons of people in the community that get classes and things like that as well.
Or we'll just practice with you.
Bingo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second one that they really brought forward for you to focus on is spending more time in exercise, moving that beautiful body. Okay. If you're lucky enough to be able to move your body in purposeful exercise, use your mind in free inquiry. You must do so or risk becoming inflexible, weak, or unhealthy, both in thought and action. So when you get triggered by this person, because you're a very generous person, they're showing me, just go for a nice walk in nature, let it out. Don't internalize all their negativity, because that's going to make you sick. Okay. Give it to the trees, give it to the oxygen in the air, give it to nature. They can handle it. Okay. Let it go. And then the last card I got for you is the Goddess of Compassion. That's the transformation that's coming for you. She's a goddess, and she's got a fish on her head. That tells me that your crown is directly connected to spirit. Okay. I use my fears as signs to guide and protect me. That ties in with this Goddess of Protection card too, right? Use this gift when your fears prevent you from acting out in your best interest, like you come across a bully. Okay. Our fears exist to help keep us safe from harm and from repeating mistakes that we have made. If we seek to understand why we are afraid, we can make our fears our friend and our helper and not our master. It's important to avoid fearing success and the many changes it will bring. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Know that you're stepping into, I think, a period of more discernment is what they're saying to me. You have a very bright and generous heart, but you can still attract flies and butterflies with that. And they're trying to warn you of the flies that are coming your way so that your generosity isn't exploited and used by the bullies to get their agenda going, so to speak. Okay, so know that you, when you step into this and you start using your deck and tapping into your guides and they start sending you warnings, not only will you be able to better protect yourself and your energy, but you can offer good advice to others like Sherry and I are doing for you right now. Okay, I hope that was helpful, Sheila, and I'm excited for you. Get that deck out. Woohoo.
Absolutely. And if you feel drawn to oracles, go to your local bookstore or if you have a spiritual store in town, and just walk around and look at the different types of cards and see which ones really speak to you.
Yeah. And a
Because
lot of people in the community, we do unboxings. Gerald is the king of unboxings. He has
I've
every
got
deck
a
known to
whole
man. Yeah.
truckload on my channel, and
There you go.
I've got a truckload of cards I need to sit down and do more with. I haven't
There you
done yet.
go.
Okay, I started out, the first card I pulled for you was the Empress. And so this is a sign of creativity. It's a sign of fertility in many ways, not just in pregnancy, but fertility in all ways and shapes and forms. She represents abundance, more so, bless you, than I saw it coming. She represents abundance more than any other card in the deck. This is what her meaning is about. She also is the number 3, which is the number of joy and creativity. And she reminds you to nurture yourself and to look around you for inspiration. Okay, babe, have a good evening. Okay. Sorry, my son was leaving and trying to tell me what was happening. And then from there, I pulled from the enchanted map, I pulled the magical map shifter, excuse me. It says spirit orchestrates everyone's destiny. I'm going to get this right eventually. There we go. It says, this card comes with a mission to make you aware of the people who come into your life to impact your personal growth. Pay attention to individuals who cross your path today and cause you to reflect on your journey. You'll recognize them for the important change agents they are. Your whole perspective about who you are and why you're here will shift. The map shifter always initiates you into a better version of yourself. So that's pretty cool. And then in Angels and R's, I pulled Archangel Haniel in the color of silver. And it says her name means the grace of God. And she appears in the silvery hue of the moon. She's the archangel angel focused on women's issues as well as their health. Haniel is like the great moon goddess of the archangel realm, along with all of the issues the moon represents. Topics like femininity, intuition, emotion, and home. The silver energy is described as the color of goddess energy, and it naturally heightens the vibration of home. It's directly connected to intuition and the glow of the moon. Excuse me. Silver light comes to you as a reminder to trust your intuition. Allergies, gotta love them. Then the last card I drew for you are Michael and Faith. spiritual calling. And it talks about here, let me switch hands. Okay, this way you can see the card. Michael, of course, is one of the best known and most trusted angels in the whole cosmos. He is the leader of God's protective legion of angels and works tirelessly to guard all those who call on him for protection. And faith is, if I can get the page to turn. Okay. Faith is his twin flame. And so, as her name suggests, this powerful feminine archangel helps us move into a deeper state of faith and trust, both in our higher power and in the goodness that runs through humanity itself. The message mainly that comes from Michael and Faith is that the universe needs you. Where you are now is where you are most needed. Consider yourself strategically placed. If you're experiencing a dark cloud or of uncertainty or fear, call in Michael and Faith to light the way. If you've been asking to be shown your life purpose, know that where you are right now and what you are facing will help you be of greater service. Your life is destined to be aligned to spirituality and higher purpose. And this particular challenge is actually the moment when you break through into a greater understanding of who you truly are and why you are here at this specific time. So, wow, I mean, all of these cards just lined right up and backed up everything that Michelle read on. I mean, it amazes me how spirit works when you're reading with someone else and you'll pull cards that complement each other or that guide one another or fill out a missing angle with one another, which is why I like reading with other people, because they might hear something, get a message, pull a card from an angle that I just haven't thought of or that didn't strike me. Doesn't make me any less or them any more or vice versa. It just means that we're two people touching the elephant at different points of reference.
Yep.
And so what we touch is different than what the other part touches. So that's how you have to think of it.
That's in Vedanta. That's a Vedantic thing. That's very Vedic, Sherry. I love that. It's the rishis and the elephant. Yeah, it's the story of the rishis, which are the ancient sages of India, and the elephant. And they say if you go to a sage or a guru, they're all going to have something different, but they're all describing the same thing, which is source. So it's like one's the tail, one's the trunk, one's the leg, you know. So I love that.
And when you think about it, if you were to reach out blindfolded and touch something from different avenues, you would have no way of knowing that it was all connected until the blindfold is taken off and suddenly you see that what the whole is.
Yeah.
And then none of the points were wrong. They were just all seeing it from a different perspective.
Yeah, I had an atheist family member tune into a few of my shows, and they were so confused as to how the cards lined up. Or like, did you meet ahead of time? Did you know the person? And I'm like, no, that's how spirit works. Like, but you live in different states, and I'm like, yeah, but spirit doesn't. Spirit's everywhere.
Spirit doesn't care where you live.
Exactly.
That is the least of their worries. You don't, check out some of us who have done card flip throughs or card explanations. Different people do it different ways. But there are all kinds of videos out there, oracle cards, tarot cards. I mean, because even tarot cards are different, you know, just depending on what the artist and the author put together. Sometimes the meaning changes a little or the picture will interpret differently. So that's why you can go look at physical decks or go watch through a flip through. if there's something that's really meant for you, it's going to speak to you.
Yeah, it is.
And you're going to be like, oh, I need that deck.
Hmm.
You know, I need to figure out where I can buy that. You know, I know on mine, I put a link in where I bought it, you know, if I got it from Amazon or Etsy or wherever, just
Hmm.
so, you know, if somebody watches it, they can click the link and
Yep,
I
me
don't get
too.
anything out of it, but it just
Yeah,
helps y'all, you know.
it helps the creators. So,
Exactly, exactly.
yeah. And
Um,
they're saying to choose a creator that jives with you. For instance, when
right.
I first started getting into the tarot, like hardcore, I was homeless. I was reliant on the YWCA, which is a women's shelter. And I took my first class from a single Black mother from the hood who had also survived domestic violence. And I loved it because it was so empowering. There could be, like, for instance, when Scott lost his mother, he started going toward like James Brown Prague and Angel Oracle decks so he could better get in contact with her. That was his pain point.
Yeah.
If you are interested, there's lots of different decks depending on, you know, what you're drawn to, but they're saying that if you hit a pain point, a trigger point, that you can go much farther with it, if that makes any sense, because you're healing yourself and you're dealing with your own shadow work before you're giving advice to others. And I find that some
Absolutely.
of the best tarot readers do many years of that before reading for others. So
Yeah, exactly. I know when I started reading when people started telling me, you know, you're psychic, right? You know, you're a reader, right? And I was like, I don't know anything about tarot cards. And I do okay with tarot cards. I still have to look a lot of them up because I don't use them as much as I do oracle cards. Those were the ones
mhm.
that called to me, were the
Okay.
oracle cards. And so I don't I don't know if it was just because I felt a better connection with oracles.
Mhm.
But one of the first things I do when I get a new deck is I sit down, and I know a lot of people, they get the book and they chunk it. They don't even open it and look at it.
Oh, I definitely read the book.
I
Yeah.
I get a deck before I even touch the cards. I sit down with a book
Hmm.
and I read it front to back because I want to know what the intent was of the author and the artist that
Yeah.
created the cards. What were you striving for? What was the
Hmm.
point of you making this deck? So that I know if this deck is going to resonate with me or not, or to reserve it for certain types of readings. Because some decks are keyed more towards just different aspects that you can look at.
Yeah.
Again, touching that elephant at different points.
Yeah. And
So,
there are
and it
some
works.
decks that are great for some topics and others for others. And the book, in my opinion, has a lot to do with that. And if you come across a deck where you're not really fond of the book, I encountered this a little bit with Whispers of Ganesha. She didn't mention any of the, like, she's just, and one, I love Angela Hartfield. She's incredible. She's since passed, also lived in Hawaii. But there weren't a lot of spiritual components that were in the art that were in the book. So it was like when he's holding a conch, for example, and it's twisted the wrong way. That's Shiva's conch, and there's a whole meaning behind it. It's the meaning behind the tea locks on his forehead. It's the meaning. So make it personal too. If you're working with an oracle or a tarot deck, like I'm working with the After Tarot right now, I'm doing a deep dive, and I looked at the Fool, and the description, in my opinion, does not match the art, and so I change it. So
Yeah.
it matches what I like. I look at the card and I go, that's not what I see going on. That dog is
And
very
that's where
upset at
reading
the Fool.
intuitively comes into play. Is
Yeah, yeah, like, she's like, "Oh, but the dog is encouraging the Fool," and I'm looking at the dog, I'm like, "No, that dog's concerned." So, I read it, and then even though if I can fall in love with the art and I don't love the writing, I'll just make it my own. So, you can take it there's not a whole lot, like, if you really wanna get creative with decks, you go to any of our channels, any of our unboxings, and you can see all of the different modalities. And I mean, I know Gerald, especially, he
absolutely.
does like he punches holes in his decks and he combines them together and does all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah, I know
yeah,
people that write all over their decks, whatever they
yeah,
get from them,
the
you
yes or
know.
nos and the yeah,
Exactly. Uh, when I first, I guess I had been reading about a year when I was invited to do a show with Jeffrey from Ripe Color. He does
Oh.
a show with he does things with Nancy Jean all the time. He's an artist. That's
Mhm.
what he does for a living is he creates beautiful artwork. And he invited me to come do an hour show with him, and the only card we were going to discuss was the Hanged Man.
Oh.
And we spent an hour completely going over the hangman and the meaning
Mhm.
behind it, the meaning of the colors in the picture, how it's depicted in different types of decks.
Mhm.
This deck it looks this way, and this deck it looks that way, and he brought to my attention the differences of, are all the background colors the same?
Mhm.
Are there mountains in all the pictures and whatever
Mhm.
spread you've laid out, or is there water behind everybody? You know, is somebody standing with one foot on the ground and one foot in the water? Is somebody up in the air? I mean, he brought a lot of points out that an artist would pick up
Mm.
because they're looking at something they would be creating, as opposed to someone like me who's not an artist in that respect. And so I wasn't looking at it through those eyes. I was
Mhm.
just looking at the picture of a guy hanging upside down, and okay,
Mhm.
what does that mean? Um, but I wasn't looking at all the nuances around it. And I'm still learning it. Every day I'm still learning it. So
Mhm.
um okay, Jenny is up next. We've got Jenny, Shockwave, Judy, Andrea, Linda, and Earth Stewart. And we've been here an hour and 26 minutes. Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to ask before we kept going. So,
Oh, yeah, we clean the house on Thursday. This is normally our house cleaning day, and so I
uh,
clean the house on Thursday instead of today, and so I'm just like, I get to dress up and not be all sweaty and dusty. So,
there you go.
but I am a weirdo. I've got Venus in Western Virgo. I like cleaning. I'm like,
Well, I just found out what my Vedic breakdown was.
mhm.
I got knocked something on the ground. I don't know where it went. My sun sign is Taurus, not
Okay.
Gemini.
Mhm.
My moon sign is Capricorn, not Aquarius.
Oh, so you're
And
Sadi.
my
You just went through
rising
Sadi Sati.
sign is Pisces, not Aries.
Okay. Pisces
So
would
I
make
was
that
like,
that's where the psychic is, the Pisces rising. That's yeah.
yeah.
That indicates that your ancestors and your ancestral line is psychic too.
Well,
So,
according to what he told me, because of the degree or whatever, wherever it was at
mhm.
for the Pisces, made me part of the Brahmin class.
Oh, so you're Ravati? That's Sattva, Sattva, Sattva.
I guess
That's
I
like,
don't
okay,
know.
so there are 3 gunas in Vedic astrology. There's
Yeah.
Tamas, which is the seed in the mud. There's Rajas, which is the stalk growing up through the water. And then there's the lotus at the very top. The
Ah,
seed in the mud is considered tamasic. It's like souls that have just landed here and are figuring things out on the material realm. And then they start to grow, and that's the stalk. And then at the top, you have the beautiful lotus. That's the
yeah.
sattva. That's sattva, sattva, sattva. Um, so we need all 3 to kind of stay balanced here,
Right.
because you need the tamas for the more material, practical ways of living and being. Got to pay those bills, got to pay the taxes, got to have a job. The rajas is the actions that we take to improve ourselves, the shadow work, so to speak. And then
Mhm.
sattva is what we've achieved. Ravati is sattva, sattva, sattva.
And this was like a very spur of the moment, just a quick look see. And
Hmm.
so it wasn't like an in depth reading, but it was like my moon is Capricorn with Jupiter and Saturn
Okay.
in it. And then my Pisces rising Brahmin class, or he nicknamed it the empath corner. And my sun was Taurus, which is Gaia energy,
Hmm.
where it was at. And so I was like, well, that's like so totally different than
Did
than
he
what I've
say your
always thought
moon
of with
was your
Western.
moon in Shravana?
I don't know. I
Okay.
I don't think we went that far. Um,
Okay.
it was when I was reading with Hogarth the other day,
Oh, okay.
and
I
he
saw
was
part of
going
that.
through some of the charts, and I said, well, I've always been curious, what am I in Vedic? But I
Hmm.
know what I am in Western.
Yeah.
And so, that's fine, but I don't know what, is it that different than what I've always thought, or does it fit better than what I've always thought?
Mhm.
And it's like when I started going through it, I was like, I have more of these characteristics than I do of the other characteristics. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can get it's
And Vedic
like,
is really intense too. Like I've always identified as a Leo and for my son. And it's my Aruda Lagna in Vedic astrology. It's how other people see me. And
yeah,
so the Aruda Lagna is how other people see you in the play. And your real Lagna, which yours is in Taurus, I'm sorry, no, your moon is in Taurus. Your Lagna is in Pisces. That's who you really are. And so they can be how people perceive you and who you really are might not always match up. And that's why some people feel misunderstood. So but I did pull some cards for Jenny if she wants to. The first card I got for you, honey, was I got the seventh house. So they want you to focusing on relationships. Okay. I asked your guys a little bit about what they want you to work on. I got the Emperor reversed. And the first thing that one of them said was stop giving away your power to people who don't deserve it. Okay. The Emperor reversed is you could be attracting a very domineering or opinionated person, someone who always likes to be in charge, and they step they cross boundaries when it comes to staying in their own power. Okay, um, so if you are for feeling, how do I say this? If you don't get the approval or the affection from the relationship, know that this could be something from your past. It could be a parent or an authority figure that caused this wound. And your guides are asking you to step forward and deal with this so that you don't get taken advantage of as much. Okay. They're warning you to focus your attention completely on a goal right now because you could miss an opportunity. And that's why it's so important to stand in your power and not delude yourself. Okay. If you try to be too logical, you're going to have difficulty expressing your feelings. Just become aware of your deep desires and emotions, but do not reveal your secret plans, feelings, or weaknesses with others because the shield is split here. Okay. Which tells me your defenses aren't as good as they need to be. All right. So again, don't stop giving away your power to others. It's just in general, okay? No one really specific. When you do that, got that new love is going to be coming your way. I got a new person will stir you up a little bit, okay? Another thing that you're going to be stepping into is your psychic gifts are going to improve because you're going to care a little bit less about what the people who have taken your power away think about you and what you're doing, and you're going to step into your own power, okay? Being open to possibilities and trusting your intuition to interpret answers from an oracle can help you help others. I got it again. I shuffled and I got it again. So they're really focusing on more than one person. This is for you because it's more than one guide that's coming forward. Is saying you need to start looking into expanding modalities that help them reach you. Okay, because the next thing I got was the Ace of Spring. Okay, this is a very action-based card. It's fearless. It's going to allow you to happily pursue your most treasured dreams, and it's going to bring amazing opportunities your way. But you have to stop giving away your power. That's the main block that I see. And then all of these beautiful things are going to open. The cherry blossoms are actually already out in Washington. They're a little early this year, so that's what drew me here. So you might want to look up the meaning of that particular flower or tree. Okay. Then I got 3 affirmation cards. I got a mind, I got a body, and I got an oracle card. Okay. This is for your mind to kind of help you navigate the future moving forward. I got the goddess of perseverance. And for the body, I also got the goddess of perseverance. So you got a couple of perseverance cards. So for your mind, I accomplish anything I put my mind to. Use this gift when you doubt your intelligence, your memory, or your ability to achieve your goals. Take that power back. Your situation is largely a result of how well you blended your logical and intuitive faculties to direct your actions. Several times a day, focused with relaxed concentration on a mental image of what you would like to see come into being. This also tells me you're a manifester. That's why they're telling you to stand in power. Okay. For your body, I earn my living by doing what I love. Use this gift when you feel unfulfilled in your current manner of employment. You created your current work situation and you can create a better one. Do work that nurtures your mind, body, and spirit, and that of others. Whatever you do for a living, you can use your divine creativity to do it. Make your life a work of art and your art a work of life. Kind of sounds like the reader that Sherry just told us about, who sees art in everything, right? I think that's why they have you looking at oracle cards too, because this can help you through that. I am an oracle. An oracle is aware of the subtle voices and symbols that reveal the
Can't
messages
make
that
it up.
guide us. I know. I breathe in the trust I need to follow my intuition. I am filled with the wisdom of my higher self. I breathe out my doubt that the answers will come to me. So they're saying, stand in your power, get yourself a deck, and start asking questions. Your guides want to help you step into leadership, into new things. That beautiful Ace of Spring energy is waiting for you. But definitely you got to get rid of that block that I'm seeing. Okay. And that's very common when it comes to empaths, because we want to people please and make sure that everybody in the room is calm and collected and getting along, and that there's not a lot of negativity around. It's not your job to control the actions and behaviors of others. If you find someone being negative towards you, or dishonest or mistrustful, just walk away. Don't have anything to do with that stuff. Okay. And do you. And then if you are unsure about making a decision, just go to your cards. Okay, they can help you. And like Sherry and I just had a whole conversation about oracle cards, and that was for you too. So, and for
Yeah.
tarot
Oh,
as
that's
well.
for everybody. I mean, not just for
Yeah.
one person. If that resonates, then that message was meant for you as well.
Yeah.
I know this morning I attended a spiritual jam session online with Colette Baron Reed.
Mhm.
I have quite a few of her decks.
Mhm.
She creates some wonderful oracle decks, and she was doing readings on people they were just randomly picking out of the group, and it was like, it was really exciting just to hear somebody else talk from the perspective of being a creator of cards, of a bunch of cards, and writing books, and how her process and everything. It was just really intriguing, because I get to ask that a lot. Oh, well, are you going to create your own deck? And it's like, are you crazy? I wouldn't know where to begin. And maybe 20 years from now, I'll think about that. But right
Mhm.
now, I'm going to concentrate on getting Linda G's book and seeing what she's got to share with everybody.
Mhm.
I'm waiting for the Audible to come out. She said something about she was going to be recording it because she's going to read it for the Audible.
Mm.
And that I think she's doing it next month, because I have points built up in my Audible account. I can get the book for free
Nice.
from Audible, because I've, other stuff that I've bought that builds up points. And then you get so many points and you get a book, it's like, yeah, two is right. I was like, yeah, this is good. Okay, you were through with Jenny? Okay. I started out with the Emperor. You can't make this stuff up. I swear to God. This is the number 4. 4 is the number of stability. Part of the Emperor's message is he's asking you to use your logic and your reason. He's trying to tell you that while it's important to go with your hunches, you need to balance that out with facts and information, so that you can interpret those hunches in the right direction. Um, he's kind of looked at as sort of like the father figure of the tarot, as the Empress is looked at as the mother. He's looked at as the father. He also indicates like provisions, protection, guidance. One of the things it says about this particular deck is that he can either be telling you to listen, or he can be telling you to take control of the situation and speak up. So again, that's taking back your power and using it. because there are times to be quiet, which is more powerful. And then there are times to speak, which is more powerful, in learning the difference between the two. And then with the Enchanted Map Oracle, I got Magic Prayer. And it says, speak your prayers, listen for the answers, act in faith. This is a reminder that your prayers will be answered, that Spirit is always waiting to help you, and that the best prayer, according to this book, says the best prayer to say is, thy will be done through me, thy will and not mine be done. So in other words, it's what Spirit wants for the most benevolent good, is a good way to put it. What's good, what's right, and not what it is I want, what it is that's necessary. This is talking about you can strengthen that conscious contact with your higher self, your guides, your ancestors, your angels, through ritual prayer and meditation. Set up a standard, something you do every day, even if it's only for 5 minutes, where you can plug in and just kind of see what it is that Spirit wants you to do or wants you to know. And then from the Angels and Auras deck, I pulled Guardian Angels White. And I'm going to get this straight eventually. It talks about white is unlike other colors and it's unlike any other angels. White isn't the color of an archangel. It's the color of your personal guardian angels. When in doubt, use white. Working with your guardian angels is equally powerful, as they are dedicated to you 24/7, 100% of your life. So talk to Spirit, get to know who they are. Even if they don't give you a particular name, maybe you don't need to know which specific one it is, but at least know that you got some there. It says your guardian angels are there to help you with your spiritual growth and evolution. They are there for you for everything. They are every color you need blended into white, because that's what white is. It's a blend of all colors. It's also a unique energy simply based on the fact that what I just said, that it's a combination of all colors. It's known as the color of clarity and spirituality. And so that's what that one. And then the last one I got was Divine Masters. And I pulled Lakshma and Ganesh. Did I say that right? How do you say the first?
Lakshmi and Ganesha.
Lakshmi. Okay.
Lakshmi.
Okay. And that's prosperity vibration. And it says that Lakshmi is a Hindu goddess of all forms of prosperity, including fertility, fortune, and well-being. What it's talking about here is the message with this card is health, happiness, joy, success, good company, and opportunities are surrounding you now. You just have to be willing to open your eyes and see them. This is a confirmation that you are indeed on the right path and will soon enjoy the fruits of your labor. Spend extra time and energy on gratitude for all that you have and all that will be, but speak to it as if it already is. So instead of saying, I'm grateful for item A coming next month, no, just say, I'm grateful for item A and leave it at that. You don't have to clarify it. They know what you're talking about. And you don't want to give a reason to slow down what it is you're trying to manifest. So I think between what Michelle said, and again, don't give away your power. Keep with that. Take that time out, a little bit of discipline. I do it every morning, first 10, 15 minutes of the morning. I go outside with my cup of coffee and I spend it with spirit and just sit in quietness and just part of me is just trying to wake up and focus, but the other part of me is just like, okay, is there something specific you want me to do today or something special that you need me to do today? And then just wait for an answer. And sometimes it's right there, and sometimes they make you work for it. So be prepared for that as well. Okay, we've got Shockwave would like a reading for April.
Okay.
And you're up.
All right. Well, welcome, Rose Blue. Good to see you. A lot of people coming in. So Shockwave, the first feeling I got was a lot of anxiety coming from you. Okay. So just take a really deep breath for me. Okay. Okay. So in through the nose, 3-4 times. And then out through the mouth. Okay. You've been going through it, my friend. I got the 10 of gems reversed. Okay. This is that you've got some major security issues going on in your life. It's left you vulnerable and unprotected. Okay. The reality surrounding wealth, status, and influence have become a little bit of a burdensome obstacle. And so they're saying that if you're worried about the family money, there's some delays, there's some disappointment, there's some bad decisions being made in this department. Okay. So I asked, what is going on with the family in Shockwave? I got Key 2 and I got the 5th house. Okay. So Key 2 rules our past lives, and the 5th house is gambling, investments, stock market. It's also children. Okay. It's our inheritances, so to speak. It's those types of things. And the Key 2 card, it literally says, no, remember, reconsider, don't do it. Okay. So there's something that they're teaching you as far as for entertainment purposes only, investments. There was a bad investment made. Okay. Or that you're headed into some type of bad investment. All right. I asked a little bit more of that. And they said, I got the 5 of winter. Okay. Walk away from dishonest associations. So if there's someone in the family or someone whispering off to the sides, hey, this would be a really great stock, or hey, let's do this, or hey, let's do that, practice caution there. Okay. Again, for entertainment purposes only, you can make your own financial decisions. I'm just telling you what my cards say. Realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, something it's not worth the effort. And you can see in the fairy, he's literally walking away from that past association. He's going, not enough. And he's holding the snowball. Like, if you come back, you're going to get hit in the face with this thing. Okay. So someone's not being honest with you when it comes to your financial situation. Okay. That's just something you need to know. Again, entertainment purposes only. Once you are able to get a better grasp of this negative energy that I see in and around the family, you can take better steps to ensure your financial security, because I got the 10 of autumn. Okay. Take steps to ensure financial security of your children and loved ones. Make wise investments or planning for retirement, and honor those family traditions. So this needs to be kind of a group effort, and there's someone in the mix that's not making a decision. So just be aware of that. All right. Here's an affirmation card that you can bring into the week. And regarding this, into the next month, given this decision in April. Okay. I am open to reality's infinite possibilities. Be flexible. Allow new information and events to inform your plans and beliefs about what is true and possible. Prepare the best you can, but expect the unexpected. When it happens, move forward. Don't look back. Just like that fairy in the 5 of, let me try to find him again. Just like the 5 of winter. Walk away from any dishonest associations, learn from it, don't look back. Just keep looking forward, okay? A lot of that is going on in the collective right now, especially given, what insurance companies are doing to seniors and other things. It's a bit of a mess out there in the collective, especially with Rahu and Pisces. So remain grounded, and when that comes, just be prepared for it, okay, Shockwave? And they're saying look forward and watch the finances, okay? Hope that was helpful, honey.
All right. I pulled the Two of Wands, and it's talking about to see where to go. You have to look at where you've been. So again, it's showing a conflict. You have a decision to make. Which way are you going to go? Maybe it's a decision on a job. Maybe it's a decision on making a move of some sort. Maybe it's a decision on a big appliance purchase you need to make, or automobile purchase, but whatever it is, it's a reminder that it doesn't have to be as difficult as you can make it out to be. It can be a struggle with your decision, but through it all, I think that if you look at it more as just a competition for what it is you want, and then see who the best man is to win. From the enchanted map, I pulled Ride the Wave. And it says, right now, success is easy and effortless. You're entering a time where you can ride the wave of abundance. The tide is turned, and you can put your surfing skills to the test. Everything that you know, all your talents, will carry you forward. Know that you're definitely on the right path. And then from there, we go to the angels and auras. And I pulled again Archangel Haniel, which is silver. So that's the grace of God, is what her name means. And her color is the color of the moon. And so it's talking about, this is showing you goddess energy. Pull from your goddess energy. Doesn't mean it has to be a woman. It can't be a man. It's got nothing to do with gender, but it's pulling from that goddess energy. And then with Divine Masters, I pulled Gaia, which is resilient spirit. It means land or earth. That's what her name means. And she's a goddess figure who is a physical embodiment of the earth itself. She is the spiritual force, or the spirit of the earth. And what this is telling you is that just like the earth, you are resilient. You're being encouraged to dig deep into yourself and find more resilience to what you're dealing with, but never lose faith, because you're grounded in that earth. You're grounded with Gaia. So just keep trucking along, keep going, but know that you've got backup. You've got one of the head ladies here in control of this planet who's like, yeah, I got your back. Don't worry about it. And so that's a good thing to look forward to. Okay. Judy B, a career reading for 24-25. And then after Judy, we've got Andrea, Linda, and Earth Steward. And that's it.
Okay.
So,
Judy B, you might want to schedule a career reading with an astrologer. There's some major blocks here, okay? And I'm sending love to you as I go through these, all right? The astrological block I see is there's Rahu 12th house energy, okay? This rules your spirituality. This tells me that you're not grounded in this area, and there might be some things that are causing some upset or psychological imbalances, okay? These are things that are hidden. They're secrets. The 12th house represents our spirituality, prisons, asylums, things that are hidden. It's the house of death, but also of birth and renewal, okay? So that tells me that there's a lot of shakeups in this area for you. And so I went, okay, astrologically, I kind of saw where the thing is. Like, what tarot? Can you guys give me some answers to add to this? I got that the world is upside down in this department for you. They're saying that they're going to teach you to be more of a more mature in this area. Okay. They're saying don't make a big deal about, okay, got it. So they're saying you have to raise yourself up and earn what you want, and that's going to take a lot of work. Okay. They're saying start with working on yourself, especially on your spiritual development. That's why I got that 12th house. Don't make a big deal about this process as you go through it with other people, because your secrets could be shared or they might think that you're a little weird. Okay. I'm just seeing a couple of people in your environment. And there's going to be some problems caused by the level of education, social graces. There's going to be people in the workplace with different nationalities, beliefs, and backgrounds from yours, and it's going to create some barriers. Okay. They're saying, and even though in a very important cycle of your life is ending, there's a lot of lessons that still need to be learned in this area. And it could be difficult to focus on that now because your confidence might be a little weakened. Okay. So this is not the time to say yes to a lot of things, marriage, travel, commitments, jumping into a new job right away, because promises are not going to be kept. And old feelings of codependency can still crop up because you're still working on a few things there. We're all there. We're all here to do that. Okay. But they're saying if you leave some inappropriate behavior and habits behind, that you'll graduate to the next level and you're going to find like the best career. So I asked, what can Judy B do to really work on that next level that I'm seeing? I got the High Priestess reverse. Working on your intuition is really, really key here. They're saying that the problem that you had regarding the last career is that you ignored some really big red flags and you ignored your intuitive spirit within. Okay. They're saying keep your crown on, don't separate from it, because that's how we interact and we communicate with you. Okay. Your guides want you to make them more a part of your decision-making process. Okay. So they're showing some people in your environment that don't really take psychic phenomena seriously. They don't respect intuition, religion, or things metaphysical like the tarot and astrology. That's why they have you keeping a lot of this a secret. You're going to have to do some shadow work on your own here. It's going to cause you to re-examine the people that you have in your environment and whether or not they're going to support your divine intuition when you start to grow into this area even more and you start to level up. So don't allow that kind of thinking to poison your journey into spirits. And they're saying if there is a masculine energy in your environment, they're having trouble controlling their impulses, and to try to not see yourself as being responsible for those impulses. Okay. This is also someone who disrespects the metaphysical and spirituality, and they're saying you'll be able to identify them. Okay. So those are some of the blocks that I see. Once you do this, oh my gosh, I pulled a Yogini. You're going to be a guru. Look at that beautiful rainbow behind her. This is fantastic. We are all one, each an inseparable part of an unseen, infinite energy that surrounds, sustains, and empowers us and all that there is. That's why our readings match up, because spirit. They're asking you to tap in mind, body, and soul. And when I pulled this and I pulled the Yogini, they're like, Surya Namaskar could be very, very good for her. Getting up in the morning and doing sun salutations, doing maybe a little bit of meditation, connecting with a deck or some cards, and allowing your guides to help you with the blocks that we're seeing. Okay. And they can help you find the career that's best for you, but you're still attracting some of that negative energy in and around you because some boundaries need to be set, especially with this negative energy that I see. All right. These are some affirmation cards that you can bring into this next phase, this new career phase for 2024 and 2025. I am on a journey. Every step of life's journey is an important adventure. I breathe in the pleasure and increased awareness that accompanies my travels. I am filled with infinite energy that animates my life and everything around me. I breathe out fear of newness. So what this tells me is as you learn these new psychic abilities and gifts, don't let them scare you. Okay. People that try to keep you from doing this are afraid. That's why they're afraid, or they're trying to exert some kind of power. So don't allow that to happen. Just be you and know that you're on a journey. And then I got Goddess of Balance. Okay, so I see things really balancing out for you once you do a few of these things. I create partnerships that are fair and pleasurable. Use this gift when you are lonely or when existing relationships are unsatisfying. Partners you bring into your life are living manifestations of what you believe are the answer to your own needs for growth and completion. If you believe you need to be aggressive, defensive, or alone to become yourself fully, you will manifest that in your daily life. So they're going to be doing some edits, okay? But just know that you're on a journey. You've got this. 12th house stuff is never easy. It's that deep, dark stuff that we're bringing in from our past lives. But once they help you break through that, the Yogini card is fantastic. And you're going to achieve a lot more balance in your life, mind, body, spirit. So the answer is yes, a wonderful career is waiting for you, but you need to do a lot of work in order to come into that. Okay. And just to let you know, I had Saturn go turn direct at 6 degrees in sidereal Aquarius, which just happens to be on my moon in the 10th house. And I told my husband, I'm leaving astrology if I don't lose my job, because it would just be absolute. It would, if I don't, then this isn't real. I lost it 3 days later. And it was for something that, and I've had this job for a long time, and it was something that was completely outside of my control. In the meantime, I've been studying AI and getting a lot of credentials in that area, and I can do work at lightning speed now. And so I can take on more clients when I'm ready to kind of step back into the workplace. I'm much better equipped, but I had to take that break and do that work in order to create a better work environment for myself and for my husband. So I hope that was helpful, honey. And I'm sending you lots of love for 2024 and 2025 with the work search.
Guess it would help if I unmuted, huh? That was great. Okay, Miss Judy. We're starting out with the Knight of Pentacles. So this is a good thing because it's a pentacle. So it's showing you've got some money coming or some kind of an abundance. It doesn't necessarily have to be cash. But it also depicts kind of sticking with the traditional path for right now. And that's what's going to move you forward. Take control of your situation. Do the best you can do, and it will get noticed. And so there could be a financial reward, a raise, a promotion, an offer from another place for a better job that pays better. These are all things that the Knight can help bring in, because he's not moving. He's sitting still. So he's kind of weighing his options, is how I always looked at it. Like, okay, well, I can do this or I can do that. And either way, it's going to help me go forward. But you want to stick with a more traditional mindset over somebody that's going to rock the boat and just make everyone a little crazy. And then from the enchanted map, I pulled for you compass. It says, as long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. And so it's talking about you're entering uncharted territories right now. But you can expect wonderful new experiences. Just stay on the highest path of your destiny. You'll need to keep your compass pointed to true north. Only spirit or a higher power can serve this function. So be assured, spirit is working in your favor. And even if you feel a little disconnected or lost, just reach right back out and they're going to show you the way. That's what this is telling you. And then in the Angels and Auras card, I pulled for you again, and I know y'all have been watching me shuffle. Archangel Haniel was silver. The moon, the color of the moon, the goddess, the grace of God. This is she's telling you she's there for you. She's focused on women's issues as well as women's health. Make sure that you directly connect yourself to the moon and to the power of the moon. But she's there to take care of you. And then the last one I pulled from Divine Masters was Joan of Arc, sacred activist. Don't be afraid. Stand up for what you believe in. And while Joan of Arc is a Roman Catholic saint and a French heroine, she's held up by just about every culture on the planet. Anybody that knows about her know. I mean, this was a teenager who, when God stepped out and spoke to her, she stepped forward and was like, I'm being told to go fight. I'm being told to lead you to go fight. That didn't happen back in her day, especially not with an army. I mean, we have women that are in military now and they talk about how hard it is. Can you imagine sleeping on the ground, having to take care of your horse, keep up with your armor, and during all that time, you got to pretend to be a man and hide the fact that you're a girl. And so, yeah, it talks about with Joan. It says, don't be afraid of being your most authentic self. Don't be afraid of the passion that you feel. Don't be afraid of the power and gifts that you were born with. Right now, there's a huge opportunity for you to stand up for what you know and what you believe. And there's a whole bunch of us that are going through that right now. We've got to stand up for what we believe and what we know to be true. It's the only way that we're going to have any semblance of a country left for us to live in. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. And that's a lot of what Joan teaches us. She persevered. She hung in there even when they burned her at the damn stake. She still would not deny what God had told her to do. And that takes a lot of courage to do that. That in that face of death, you're still going to say, no, this is what he told me to do. That's what I'm going to do, regardless of the outcome. So that's pretty amazing. And I hope that resonated with you, Judy. Okay.
Well, and Judy said she predicted the sale of the company and she was not part of the sale. And she's part of the cleanup as the owners retire. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't read that part.
Yeah.
Okay. Andrea, you're up.
Okay.
A message from her father, Hector.
If you can give me the dates, I can tell you what path your father went out on. If you just give me the date. I don't need the year, just the month and the day. Okay, Andrea. So the first, I went to my James from Prague, and he said no, I don't want to use that one. I'm like, okay, and so I went through a lot of decks, and I found a few that they agreed with, so that's good. One, he's trying to communicate with you. I got the third house, so he wants to communicate with you. He's on the phone. There's literally a phone on the card, a phone, a quill, he's trying to get through. Okay. All right, December 9th. Okay, so what that tells me is he went out on the south path, which is the path of healing. Okay, and he's learning a lot of lessons as he goes through his looking over what his body, his mind, and his soul did in the last birth. And he went through that whole process. Okay, these are the things that he brought up for me. The first one I got is generosity. You can afford to be generous with the gift of your time and attention. So, and this is something that he wished he had a little bit more of in his life, but he appreciates that you're bringing into. The reason he's bringing this up is that he notices that there is a major family wound. Okay, I got the wounds card. Withheld support from the past can cause low self-esteem that cripples action. So he is addressing that there is a wound in the family, and he's encouraging generosity to help alleviate some of that. Okay. Um, so I asked for a little bit more. And I said, what can what would you like Andrea to kind of step into and start focusing her mind on? And I got the concentration card from Whispers of Ganesha. He says, utilize the tools, the resources, and all of the skills that are available to you right now, and that he can support you with inspired ways to solve problems. So you can benefit from a lot of inventive forces right now. We have a new moon in sidereal Aquarius tomorrow. So they're saying you can maintain your power and work with awareness and focus. He really wants you to just focus, focus, focus. Act consciously with the understanding that applied effort will get you what you want, and know what you are doing and why you are doing it. Okay, that's the most important thing. You need to focus on a single objective or purpose at this time, and you're being asked to channel all of your energy and wherewithal into this goal. Okay, so take the time to research other avenues, possible solutions, things like that. Keep a very practical approach. And he says you're going to be successful, and work at a steady pace. Remain as objective as possible as you go through this, and consider how you can better interact with people in your life with that generosity piece that he pulled up. Okay. They're saying it's important to treat others the way that you want to be treated, because one of the lessons he learned was everything I did, God was literally inside of me looking out. And he's like that for every human. And so I would have done things a lot differently if I had known that it was that concentrated and I was being watched that closely. So he's more aware, okay, on the other side of how it works. Okay. This is kind of this. I went to my wild goddess to kind of feel out like how he sees you from the other side. And I got the mask. Okay. Neither you or anyone else involved in your situation has a clear picture of what has happened, what is happening, and what will happen. So there's a lot of confusion going on. Okay. There's just a lot of like kind of, they're showing me infighting, and they're showing that the concentration can kind of help you power through this stuck energy I'm seeing. His brother fought with me over his estate when he passed and kicked us out of the house, and when we were in a different state with nowhere to go. Well, that's the wound. Okay. And that's probably why he brought up the brother, because he said, I realized on the other side, because I went on the south path and he's going to have to come back and pay some karma off. Okay. A lot of us do that, that everything he said, everything he did, and everything he enacted would have a consequence. And that's why he's pointing out the wound in the family. And that's why he said the brother probably could have been more generous, because I got the generosity and I got the wounds. Generosity is the solve to the family wound. Okay. And you can use your concentrated efforts and to power through that. Okay, Andrea. But yeah, the brother doesn't, he's literally masked. He does not understand how this plane works very well. Okay. And that he's going to have to pay back everything in his next birth unless he makes amends now. All right. Okay. So this is the message for you from your father. Okay. I got the Ace of Summer. It's a beautiful card for you. And it's open your heart to love, walk away from this unfortunate wound. The beginning of a new relationship or rebirth of a current one, awakening of your psychic abilities and spiritual epiphanies. I think the concentration card was so that you could get into a spiritual modality that increases your intuition and removes the mask that I'm seeing in the family. Okay. That'll allow some more compassion in, a little bit more empathy. And they're asking you to just literally step into something new. And I love all of the different lotuses in this card. Focus on those beautiful, softer qualities within. All right. Oh, it's quite a betrayal, sweetie. I'm so sorry you went through that. Oh my gosh. So my art of affirmations exploded for you. And now I know why. Thank you for sharing that. The first thing your dad wants you to do is he wants you to start nurturing yourself and your environment. Okay. I support and protect those I care about. We all have an obligation to give our best efforts to support and protect those we care about. We need to be strong. We need to build a strong, powerful castle for each other so we can feel safe and able to heal. This is him coming through, and this is the message for the brother. Do not mistreat your family members like this. Don't kick them out of the house. Don't take all their money, because that's going to be you next time. Okay. And he's saying to you, make sure to nurture yourself and those in your environment so you don't fall into the same trap and you have to come back and pay it back. Okay. When you do that, I got this beautiful goddess of balance. Okay. I create partnerships that are fair and pleasurable, not one-sided and parasitic. Okay. Use this gift when you're lonely or when an existing relationship was unsatisfying. Partners you bring into your life are living manifestations of what you believe are the answer to your own needs for growth and completion. If you believe you need to be aggressive, defensive, or alone to become yourself, it will manifest in your daily life. And I think that's the energy that the brother brought through. Now dad is asking you to just practice a little more balance in that area. And then I got goddess of the new for your mind. I love and accept myself as a unique individual. Use this gift when it seems that you are not being accepted for any reason, but especially if it is because you are different from other people or because you want to be different. You do not need the acceptance of ignorant, intolerant people. You cannot change anyone else. This is the negative energy, okay, honey? What you do need is to love and accept yourself for being a good person. Nurture yourself, nurture your family, move away from the negative energy. And it's going to be okay. All right. Now, this is what he's getting from the other side. He is loved. Okay. He met someone on the other side and the reunion was fantastic. When we embrace love, it embraces us back in miraculous forms, both seen and unseen. I breathe in the pure love that fills my heart as I think spiritual thoughts. I am filled with the joy that love brings into my life. I breathe out the fear that true love is a myth. You may not be feeling very loved in the family right now. You just went through this wound that he showed me. You should have been met with generosity, as you weren't. Okay. But he's saying that there is a lot of love on the other side, and he's encouraging that on this side because of the wound. All right. I hope that was helpful, honey. He was not in my life very much, but when I had my daughter, he became more involved with her. Well, that's good. And yes, I will pray for your family, sweetie. I'm so sorry you lost 2 family members in 5 days. That's a lot. Is it okay if I do a mantra for you right now and for your
Go
family?
for
And
it.
I will go ahead and do that. I just need Andrea's permission. It's Vedic. And I'll go ahead and do a mantra for you. Okay, sweetie? But yeah, I know what it's like to be betrayed by family. It's never easy, but you have to realize that because you realize that what they did was wrong, you have more compassion and you're more mature as a spirit. Because you understand that the Holy Spirit, the universal Atman, depending on whatever religion you're from, lives inside of us, and it is a observer of everything that we say and do in these bodies, and we have to pay it back next
Absolutely.
time. And if most people believe that, we wouldn't be living in this world of craziness and chaos and greed. Okay. So I hope that was helpful, honey.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I pulled for you. The first card I got was the Magician. And so, this is the Magician is exactly that, the Magician, but it indicates a potential for all that you are available, for all that is available for you to have or to do. The Magician has all the tools there on his desk, in his hands. He's got the wand, the sword, the cup, um, the pentacle, everything. He's got infinity above his head. So it's just, while the Magician talks about being logical and reasonable and to use your intellectual skills, um, he's also given the number 1, which is the number of new beginnings, the number of where your ideas start to form. And basically, this is telling you that you've got everything you need right there in front of you. Just got to reach out and use it. And I really feel like that's what your dad is trying to tell you. Is that everything is right there. You can go, you can do, you can be whatever it is that you want to go to, be, or form. And he's there to help you. This is what I'm getting. And then from the enchanted map, I got details. It says the most powerful patterns are created within the tiniest details. Pay attention. And that's what, when this card shows up, basically it's telling you to finesse a project, make small but meaningful gestures, add a personal touch to your correspondence. Clarity and transparency are key. And so you want to make sure you hit all the little details. And I think that's something that he's trying to point out to you. You've got that ability. You've got the magic of being the magician. You just have to use the power of it. And then I pull for you Archangel Raziel, and her color is rainbow. And her name means the secrets of God. And it's a he, not a she, pardon me. He's said to sit at the throne of the divine, writing down everything he sees and hears. So this is someone who's taking in all the detail, being very careful about all the little details. He's there to help you comprehend whatever you're trying to learn, especially if it's spiritual or mystical in nature. He also comes from the element of enlightenment. He works as a spiritual guide for those who ask for his help, and he understands all the secrets of the universe and how they work. So who better to ask for help than somebody that knows how the hell it all goes together, right? Toot toot is, you got it, man. Talk about blow your horn. And it's a rainbow. So again, we're looking at all the colors. The rainbow is said to be one of the rarest colors in an aura. Is for someone to have a rainbow aura, because it represents someone who understands their cosmic toolbox, is how they put it. So this is really cool. This is saying you kind of know what you're doing here. You just got to believe in yourself to do it. Then the last card I pulled for you is Guru Ram Das. Did I say that right? Ram Das? Okay. Miraculous moment. Says harmony surrounds you and expect miracles. The blessings of Guru Ram Das are with you now. Even if the odds are stacked against you, you are being guided to expect miracles. By staying connected to God, source, spirit, whatever you want to call it, that you will prevail. Don't allow anyone or anything to stand between you and your dreams. I think your dad is trying to tell you that by staying committed to your vision, holding on to it, and knowing what it is you want and the direction you want to go, you're on the right path. And that's what Ram Dass is teaching you, is that you're on the right path. You're on the right path. I feel like I feel like your dad is just telling you, you got this. You got this. You've got the angels beside you, in front of you, behind you. You've got me. You've got others. You got it. No worries. I hope that helps, Andrea. Okay, Linda. And are you still here, Linda? I hope.
Because you're welcome, Andrea.
Yeah, absolutely. She's here. Okay.
Okay.
I just, now that we're down to the last two, we've been so long, it was like, okay, if she's not here, then I'm going to go to the next one.
Sounds good. I do the same thing. All right. So, summary. I got the 7 of Cups, or in this case, hearts reversed. And they're saying, think with your head, not just your heart. Okay, Linda. So when the 7 of Cups appears in reversed, it becomes challenging to distinguish between the creative impulses and pipe dreams that are coming through. Okay. So wishful thinking can take hold, especially if you're hesitant to make a decisive action right now. And so, if you or someone in your environment isn't misinterpreting ideas or information intentionally or subconsciously, it's best to postpone making significant choices during this time to avoid making an impractical decision. Okay. So escapism can be a very strong desire. It makes it difficult to kind of focus on reality sometimes, and everything can feel like a chore when that happens. This is happening to a lot of light workers and spiritualists right now because of the Rahu and Pisces energy that we're going through. So basically, they're saying illusions can hinder your progress for happiness, and that it's crucial to differentiate between the embracing fantasy and a fantasy world. Okay, so stay attentive to the truth of your situation and avoid making significant decisions at this time because there's something fogging you. All right. I got some good cards after that. This is from the Zerner Farber Tarot. I got the positive. I got the 6 of Winter. This is the same as the 6 of Swords. So some positive changes are on their way for you. Okay, dear. It literally says positive changes are on their way. A welcome relief for troubled times, traveling or relocating. So if you're thinking about taking a trip to kind of reset things and just expand your mind, your practice, and how you come across, then that is being supported by your guides. And then the second card I got is there is a resolution to difficulties coming here. Okay. It says a weight lifted off your shoulders at the end of an addiction or a codependency. And that could be some of I think this is the illusion that I picked up, that you'll be able to see things a little more clearly and that your guides can help you through that. All right. So said, all right, so what can she focus on creatively to kind of break through this 7 of Cups energy that I see? And I got truth and innovation from the Creativity Oracle. Let's start with truth. It says, an honest desire to know and speak the truth produces beneficial results. Okay, so standing in your truth and really like sitting back and looking at what you might be listening, what you might be missing in the illusion. Okay. There's also a lot of people that are struggling with indecision right now for the same reason. Okay. The second card I got, innovation. There's some new innovative things coming your way. Have fun, experiment, invent something that surprises and has never existed before. So maybe kind of taking a step back, reevaluating what you might be missing through the fog, and then coming up with an innovative way to address it. Okay. And see it from a place of truth. Okay. Uh, and then I said, what is she stepping into as far as, like I went to the art of affirmations. What can she step into once she finds out what this block is? And I support and care for those I support and protect those I care about. We all have an obligation to give our best efforts to support and protect those we care about. We each need to be build a strong, powerful castle for each other so we can feel safe and be able to heal. And I shuffled this back in. I got it earlier. Um, Basically, there is someone in and around your environment that is not being properly nurtured. Their needs aren't being met. And there's like a fantasy that's going on that's not the reality of their situation, and you're going to be able to nurture this person and their situation much better once you see the clarity of the situation. Okay. uh, 7 of Cups has been a bit of a stalker card for me in 2023. And it turned out that a family member had gotten involved in a relationship that was inappropriate and all in her head. And she brought down the whole family. So the way I look at this is, I'm not saying that is your situation, but illusions can cause a lot of damage. They can cause people to lose their entire fortunes. They can lose family members. They can cause a ton of damage. So when I get the illusion card, and we all struggle with those, especially with this Rahu and Pisces energy, really pay attention, look at things practically. And when you find out that someone has been mistreated in and around your environment, go ahead and nurture them out of that. Okay. And help them gain some stability. All right. I hope that was helpful, Linda. And I'm sending you lots of love as you work through this energy. Okay.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Linda, we're starting out with a 7 of Swords. So that's kind of, if you've been trying to get away with something, it's not going to work. You're going to get caught. But at the same time, whenever I look at this, it just, the person in the picture has always struck me as somebody who's like happy to be helping to gather everything up. This is not the meaning of the card at all, but that's just what I get off of it. So you can use that if you want. From the Enchanted Map, I pulled for you Sacred Pool. It says the world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Embody the love you wish to see in the world. It's asking you, when you look in the mirror, do you like what you see? You're needing, basically, Spirit is telling you with this to focus on self-love and self-esteem. A self-examination made with rigorous honesty is called for. Take off your fingers, go through all the things that's going on in your life. Is it easier to act in good conscience? If it's easier to act in good conscience, then you will reap the greatest rewards. So take a long, hard look at yourself in the mirror, and that can be scary, I know. Because a lot of us don't like what we see looking back at us, or we're not real happy with what we see looking back at us. All right, and then from Angels and Auras, I pulled Archangel Raphael and the color green. It says his name means God heals. The primary reason that people ask for his help is related to healing their physical bodies. He is known as the Archangel of Travel. He's also known to be a bit of a matchmaker, and his color is the same as the color of the heart chakra for this very reason. Raphael is said to be the friendliest of the archangels and is known for his sense of humor. The color green is the color of communication and creativity. When green is present in the aura, this person is a master communicator. So you got a lot of green showing there, and you're good at communicating. I know you. I know both of those to be true. And then lastly, I pulled for you Rama and Sita, Holy Union. Says Rama and Sita are Hindu personifications of the divine masculine and divine feminine and are associated with the festival of lights, Diwali. Embodiments of divine love and holy union. They're the central figures in the Indian epic, the Ramayana. Did I say that correct?
The Ramayana.
Ramayana. Okay, see.
It's a good book.
I put the wrong inflection, too much French in me. I put the wrong inflection on me, on the words.
That's awesome.
Basically, they're telling you to have a great opportunity, or you have a great opportunity to experience heart healing at this time. You're open to the possibility of a partnership, whether that's in your love life, in your friendship, in your business. Now is the time to explore new partnerships. It says the universe is presenting opportunities for you to experience a real soul-to-soul connection. Don't let what passed you by in the past judge you for the present. Shake it off and just go forward. That's pretty good if you ask me. So I hope that resonated with you. And last but not least, we have Earth Steward.
Woohoo!
And Earth Steward, are you still here? You're welcome, Linda. I'm glad we can help.
Oh, you're welcome, Linda. Thank you.
Earth Stewart, are you still here? I don't think I've seen any chatter from them.
Earth Stewart, please pick up the white courtesy phone.
Yeah, I don't have a ringing. I don't have a ringing. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to come up with something. Doorbell or a cowbell or
Cowbell is what, that's what I call Gerald. Yeah.
I
Can't
actually
have too much.
gave my boss that I worked for in Phoenix. He had the uncanny ability to walk right by me and I never see him. To
Oh,
go in and out of his office. Don't ask me how. Because if anybody else walked by me, I'd see him right there. But he just had this ability of like disappearing when he walked by. And I used to
okay.
laugh at him and tell him, there she is.
There she is.
I used to laugh and tell him, I'm going to buy a damn cowbell and hang it around your neck. And when his birthday came around that year, I went to the feed store and I bought cowbell.
Okay. Yeah, and you told me
And I
that caused
wrapped
some
it
problems in the workplace, but I'm glad that he had a good sense of humor.
He did. He
Yeah.
understood it for what it was.
Yes.
Because he was black and I'm
Mhm.
white. And so,
Mhm.
but he was a Southerner as well. So he
Mm.
kind of understood the humor that it was coming from. There were some
Mm.
other people, though, that got quite offended by it. I was like, people, get a grip. Y'all know
There's
I
a lot of
wasn't,
that going
I
around.
wasn't,
It's
yeah. He thought it was hilarious. He had it,
well,
he kept it on his desk for the longest time.
well, there you go. I mean, if it's between you and the other person and it's respectful, then
Yeah,
yeah,
he thought it was
totally.
funny.
Yeah. So, Earth Stewart is here. Yay.
Yay.
All right, Earth Stewart. So I got some good cards from you. One, get out, communicate. Get on Trulia, get on Zillow, get on those apartment apps and just start looking around. Okay. Create a saved list is what they're showing me. And share that saved list with friends. Talk about the neighborhoods. Okay. Look up some of the reviews in the area. Because those are available via all those apps, and you don't have to sit in your car and drive everywhere with the apps. You can get on Google Maps. You can look around. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. So they're saying use the internet, use the phone, just use technology in this beautiful age of communication that we're in to continue to do more research. The reason I say that is because I got the hangman reversed. Okay. So while you're maybe in a bit of a slump when it comes to the search, you're not completely off your game, okay? To navigate the cosmic influences of your life and to try to find the right place for you, accept delays and just hang in there for a while, okay? Sacrifices will be necessary along the way, but never at the expense of your future. So don't worry about that. Your talents, abilities, and intelligence are still intact when it comes to picking a place, but they're just not currently serving you in this exact moment. Okay. They will be ready to propel you forward when the time is right. So just exercise caution. Don't succumb to fear when choosing a place. If delays create really complex circumstances beyond your control, just try shifting your perspective a little bit. And they're saying that dwelling on negativity will only keep you stuck in a rut and cause you to miss the opportunity that the universe has waiting for you. This wonderful apartment coming your way. Okay. So then I went to my creativity oracle and I got some action steps that you can take. Okay, Earth Steward, I got precision, direction, pause, and explore. So I'll read the precision card first. And it literally says the desire to do things precisely is useful as long as it does not devolve into rigidity. So precisely, keeping those lists, making those notes, they will help you choose a better direction for where you're headed. It says switch gears, reboot, try a new and different direction. That's why I think I got the hangman for you. They want you to see where you're headed toward from a different perspective, a different mindset, because there's some stuff waiting for you there. They're creating pauses throughout this. I got the pause card. Accept what you must wait and prepare for developments to reach the next stage. So you're in a hangman stage right now. This has not been made clear yet. Give it some time. In the meantime, I got explore. Trust your imagination to help you journey through your inner landscape to find what you seek. As you're hanging upside down from that branch and you're gaining that new perspective, use that time to explore and expand, different ways of different ways of living. Because you see, he's literally, it's like a Columbus-like figure watching ships out in the ocean. Okay, so know that your ship will go by when it's ready, but it's not quite ready yet because the universe hasn't opened that door for you. I got some Art of Affirmation cards that you can carry along with you as you journey through this. And I've already pulled a couple of these today, so this seems to be a theme. The first one I got was you need to nurture yourself throughout this process. I support and protect those I care about. We have an obligation to give our best efforts to support and protect those we care about. We each need to be strong, build a strong, powerful castle for each other so we can feel safe and be able to heal. I think that's the castle that's waiting for you. And then for your spirit, I got Goddess of Prosperity. So that's good. I have all that I need to get what I want. Use this gift when you believe you lack the time, the money, the IQ, the education, the connections, the looks, the love, the strength, the prestige, the power, the luck, the support, the courage, the patience, or any other resources you need to accomplish your goal. Believe instead that the power of affirmations and positive thinking can help you as much as all of these things combined. What this tells me is there might be some prosperity coming your way that will allow you to live in a better area. Hey, love that. And then I got Goddess of Balance. This is how you can end this. I am attractive because I feel good about myself and others. Use this gift when you are unhappy with your appearance. Everyone needs to use this affirmation several times a day. Even classically beautiful people obsess over what they see as their physical shortcomings. A thoughtful, kind person who is genuinely interested in others is truly attractive. A sense of humor is more important than good looks. Okay. So you're going to step into some balance. What this tells me is that your self-esteem might have taken a little bit of a hit. Uh, one thing that I would recommend doing in the mirror, and I do this, is I create little post-its for myself, and I try to think of nice things to say about myself. So when I wake up in the morning and I look at the mirror, I don't like start with a negative self-talk. If you've ever been in any kind of like abusive or unhealthy power dynamic, those voices can come in, and it's important to replace them with more positive affirmations in your life. Okay. Additionally, you might have a better place waiting for you, and Spirit's just setting up all of the pieces, the chess pieces on the board, so to speak, to make that a success. So just give it some time, take those deep breaths, and know that the delays are for you're in your favor. Okay, Earth Steward. I hope that was helpful, honey.
Okay, and I pulled for you the 10 of Wands. And this is just simply letting you know you don't have to carry the burden alone.
Yeah.
Reach out for help, reach out for assistance. There are others that can come beside you and help you with these decisions and finding a place and moving. And you just have to just speak out and let them know. And then in the enchanted map, I pulled for you details. Once again, it's all in the little details. So if you pay attention and you make sure all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted and all that good fun stuff, then everything should flow very smoothly for you. And then with the Angels and Auras card, I got Be the Real You. It says, your dazzling personality and your freedom of expression have the angelic world in awe of you. Your aura colors are bright and beautiful, and people around you can feel it even if they can't quite put their finger on what they're experiencing. You set an example for others to live their truth. Keep shining your light because the world needs this. And then the last one I pulled was again Joan of Arc. Don't be afraid of losing. Don't be afraid of your most authentic self. Don't be afraid of the passion that you feel. Don't be afraid of the power and the gifts that you were born with. Right now, there's a huge opportunity for you to stand up for what you know and what you believe. Stand up. There's something in your spirit that is telling you not to give up. Don't let a lack of validation stop you. When you know it's right, you feel it all the way down to your toes. You feel it. Take comfort in that. And that's what I've got for. That's it. We're done.
Woohoo.
Thank you, Michelle, so long for hanging with me for almost 3 hours.
That was fun. I
The
like reading
last
with
time we
you.
were together, it was like 3 hours. It was like, I don't read with other people that long normally.
It's just our vibe. It's fine. It's
It's
just how
just
we
the way
read
we go.
together.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
this has been great. I hope y'all, I hope that resonated for everybody. Hi, Dolores. And if anybody pops in a chat anywhere and you see Fatima in the chat, tell her happy birthday. Today is her birthday. So I have not seen her yet in chat for anything today. So I was just waiting to see if she's going to sneak in on somebody so I can tell her happy birthday. And who was it? Somebody else. Oh, Tanya Stingley, the one that does the paranormal show with Deanne on Friday nights. Her birthday is today too. So
Aw.
if you spot Tanya, tell her happy birthday. So thank you all for coming and spending your afternoon with us. I really do appreciate it. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you, Michelle, for hanging out with me for the afternoon. This has been a lot of fun. I love reading with you. I love hanging out with you. I learned so much. It's so interesting.
That's what's great
Now that
about our
I've kind of had
community.
this new world open up to me of the Vedic astrology, it's like, wow, this is fascinating. So whereas before it was always just kind of whatever,
Mhm.
this is really interesting because it's all these different avenues. I mean, I'm sure tropical astrology has that too. I just never was interested.
Yeah.
Just wasn't my thing. So thank you so much for hanging out with us and for sharing your gifts with everyone. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and hanging out and spending the afternoon with us.
Yes.
It's been a long one, and we're both pretty exhausted right now. I'm going to go heat up my dinner and eat, and then take a nap.
Sounds great.
I know the nap part sounds the best.
Mhm.
Y'all have a great afternoon. Thank you so very much. Much love to everyone, and we'll see you soon.